Listening to this. This is Matthew Bailey alongside my critiquing partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello everyone.
And this is another episode of BS Beats and Bailey. As a matter of fact, I forgot to mention this in the last podcast, but this is actually a special episode because yes, folks, as the title hints, yes, we are celebrating our second anniversary. This is the second anniversary of BS Beats and Bailey. And I can't help but think about when we were over by Island Bear, by IMAX, when it was July the 5th when we went to see Terminator Genesis.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Yes, that bullshit.
Start with bullshit and then we're going to continue with not so much more bullshit.
Yeah, not so much more. Not so much more bullshit.
We had bullshit last week.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, hell of a way to end.
Yeah.
To end that year, boy, with Transformers. Yeah. Oh my god.
That bullshit.
So yes, folks, we are celebrating our second anniversary of BS Beats and Bailey, and today we have quite a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, not so much a lot, but just a lot of things that we checked out.
A lot of geek stuff happened, but I made a mistake. The problem I had to keep writing this shit down because so much bullshit is be happening now.
Yeah, 2 years.
No, but just the wave, the tsunami of bullshit that happened throughout the weekend. I think I swear I missed a couple things. It'll probably come to me.
Right.
Things to talk about. Rick and Morty trailer.
Yes.
We have a date. Right. End of July.
End of July. Can't wait for that. I saw the trailer. I was hyped for it. I love that the Mad Max. Yeah. That Mad Max shot. That's those shots is the one I'll take out of it.
And a lot of the stuff that was leaked is verified. So
yes,
it's like
yes.
So the Pickle Rick thing. Although I thought the Pickle Rick thing was in a different scenario, but it's okay, cool.
Right. Can't wait for that for sure.
Then,
well, on the subject of trailers.
Death Note trailer.
Yes, the second Death Note trailer came out.
Yeah. Right. That's.
I don't know, like I still can't wrap around my head with it being a feature-length movie. I just can't. If it's like a limited, like a mini-series or something, so okay.
But as I say, but a couple interesting things about it. Now, the big thing is that the choice who they got for L is Lakeith Stanfield of Atlanta fame.
Yes.
He's a really quirky dude, and it'll be fascinating to see what they do, how he plays L, but this just looking totally now it has a lot of downvotes online.
Not surprised at all.
But I'm surprised. I thought a lot of people were jumping on, well, you can't have a black hell kind of thing. And it's not really that. It's more, well, it's just really Americanized. Yeah. And a lot of people not really feeling that.
And personally, I don't like how L is portrayed just from physical perspective. Okay, so because you want to be the moody, mysterious guy, you have to have this
but that's the thing,
over your mouth.
It's almost entirely Americanized.
Yeah, so that's your character. You're just gonna have this over your mouth.
It's almost entirely Americanized, which is kind of dumb. The problem is that, and then in the trailer they already undermine a lot of the big narrative things. Like with L from before, no one had a clue what L looked like.
Exactly.
Like not even close to a clue. It was just a letter on a screen. Yeah. So it's like, why you have a public press conference?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't
because America. That's
right. And then another thing too is that everything just looking like gonna be Ghost in the Shell all over again. I mean, in terms of,
you mean the Americanized version.
And then they will totally not get what made
Death Note so great. Yeah.
Yeah. Another analogy I like to think is Old Boy. You know, again, not necessarily bad or a mess, but it's like, this pointless, and you totally missed the point of why Old Boy worked.
I still haven't seen that. I'm a Spike Lee fan. I skipped out on Old Boy.
Again, it wasn't bad. But just totally missed the point of why Old Boy worked.
Right, but something about it felt to me like they just picked him out of a hat. Like, hey, Spike Lee, you doing anything? No. All right, do Old Boy now. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
remember that?
Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it's something that he should have done.
It was a missed opportunity because you're kind of going off on Spike Lee's Old Boy, but it is an example of the problem of the general problem with American cinema and Americanized cinema.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's they totally missed the point, and then they had the opportunity to say, okay, if you're doing an Americanized version, here's what to do with the material, which is you make it very specific to the culture. here's the thing. The Spike Lee old boy is in New Orleans. So you could have made it a very specific cultural thing in New Orleans, much like how the old boy is very specific to Korea.
Yes.
They had some very specific Korean things, like the whole hammer thing.
Yeah.
That whole hammer thing is a big Korean thing because of the big factor of gun control.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna change that, make it interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't do that.
But they just redid the hammer scene because people remember the hammer scene.
Hammer scene,
so,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, you missed the point of why the hammer was important. Here's the thing, though. The movie I would like to take them is the analogy of good translation or reasonably good translation is Infernal Affairs and The Departed.
Yes.
I hope it's something like that, but I don't expect it to be like that.
Yeah,
I expect it to be Ghost in the Shell all over again, which is, you have the material and then you don't get why it works.
Exactly, and you just think it's gonna ride off of the premise and title alone, and that's the only thing that's gonna elevate your film.
And the big highlight of it though is what do I call him? Playing Ryuk.
Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Right?
Excellent. Well, he has his voice down.
Yeah, Dafoe's Ryuk might be the big highlight. He looks great in this. I like what they're doing with it.
And the sort of cackling laugh he has, I love that.
Yeah, we get the Spider-Man.
Yes, the Green Goblin laugh.
Green Goblin laugh. Yeah.
We're gonna have a hell of a time.
I on the edge for this. I personally think they're gonna fuck it up. I expected them to fuck it up, but whatever.
Yeah, I honestly think so too. I think this might be another Iron Fist. If you will.
No, I don't think it'll be that bad.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be that. I think again my analogy, the working comparison will be Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell. Just again, it's not that you missed the point. It's just you didn't add anything to the material, and it's like you just like why make this?
You just kind of copy and paste, but you
that's how
anything
you don't get why it translates. Just film to film translation and failure of that is just kind of sad to watch. It's like it's a film to film translation. So we're gonna do the only thing is the culture. You have to understand the culture.
Yeah,
you don't get it.
Exactly.
Whatever.
And just sticking with TV for a bit, we got our first trailer for Inhumans.
Right.
And I saw it and I was like, all right. Okay, personally, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to the Inhumans. I know a couple of characters, like that guy who was dressed in black.
Right.
I'm familiar with the logo and stuff. The dog, I remember him from before. But the big gimmick with this is that it's shot entirely with IMAX cameras. Right. Apparently, they're supposed to get like the first episode in select IMAX cinemas, I believe, in the States.
Yeah.
So I know we're not gonna get that down here because fuck us.
I don't care about that gimmicky bullshit, frankly.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, okay. But you see, the thing is, because I got suckered into that, it was shot with IMAX cameras, with Transformers, and look at what I got with this shitty aspect ratio thing. And I expected that with Inhumans, but I'm just expecting that this is going to be exactly what it is.
Right, so
just a spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not more.
A couple things. It's looking cheap as goddamn hell. Oh my gosh. It's looking cheap as hell. But it's no worse than the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, exactly.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was cheap as hell.
It's ABC budget.
Exactly. So I didn't really think. Another thing is that I thought the trailer was kind of bad. Like the edit was kind of bad. And then they decided to do the whole. So the Black Bolt character, he really only.
Black Bolt, that's his name.
Yeah, Black Bolt, right.
Yeah.
Black Bolt only have really one thing about him that is interesting. There's only one thing about Black Bolt that's interesting. He can't talk. But as in, not that he can't talk, is that if he does talk, you have problems. And then
shit happens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know what it is, which is weird. His voice is this insane shockwave that it blasts out.
Right.
And even in the slight whisper, because they showed it in the trailer, which I thought was a little cool, where he get hit from a police officer.
Yes.
Or I forgot, a security guard or something, and then he just make a slight noise, and then that causes huge shockwave pushing a car away.
Yeah.
Like, alright, whatever.
But on the subject of like those action set pieces, so I felt like, if this is your teaser, if you will. If this is to hype people up, I didn't think it did its job well enough. Like I watched it, there's just a bunch of talk and a bunch of, there's all this stuff going on inside this community and all this kind of stuff. Like it didn't really hype me up. It's just the whole IMAX gimmick is what had me like,
and the thing with it is that, I wasn't hyped as well. And the problem I have is that, they're just trying to do the Game of Thrones in space thing.
Yeah, and speaking of which, there was that guy, that creepy guy, who had I forget names now. The one who had that guy tortured. Yeah, I saw his face. Yeah, him who used to like to just skin people alive. That was his thing. Yeah, I saw his face like, oh shit, look this guy in it. I was like, all right, but still.
I'm not impressed with this either. I was bored with the trailer. I was like, all right, I have a couple of things I like, and because I'm not a big Inhumans fan, I know the material. I kind of know the material. I know the dog, and I know Black Bolt, I know the Queen, blah 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 blah. You kind of know his royalty and all of them just kind of real high maintenance types. So it's like, all right, I want to see how this could play out, but I'm really not excited.
Yeah.
But then again, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I thought I would have been hyped for that. I ended up being bored and then got good.
Right. But I think it's because I did not watch season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet.
Right.
I think that's why I'm not that excited for Inhumans. But
you know,
I guess I'll have to be there to watch
the last couple of seasons of EOS was pretty damn good for a lot of people. In fact, they consider it better than everything DC had on television.
Wow.
A lot of fans will tell you that. I have to watch it to judge that, but for me the first 3 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially third season,
third season was like...
was terrible.
And that's how it ended, where they kill off McGill, Migna.
Yeah,
it's like,
it was rubbish. So I was hating on that shit. So whatever.
What else? Trailer. Oh yes, the next trailer. The first trailer for Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle came out.
Right.
And I was
not
like,
excited.
the fuck? Really?
Yeah,
what?
I wasn't hyped for this at all.
Neither me. I mean, this is alright. So this is like the third film this year that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in. Like, he just has it so good that he could just be in any mediocre film, with the exception of Fast and Furious 8. I still love that show. He could just be in anything and he's still making bank, you know?
But that's the thing. I mean, the whole so the whole Baywatch thing was a bit of a dud.
Bit of a dud, you see?
Yeah, bit of a dud. You know, in fact, to the point where he kind of lose a lot of credibility and you know, he should have just saved face and keep quiet about it, but he's like real defending it online and you should have do this and you don't understand economics and all that shit. I was like, no, the movie shit and they do shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so with this, I don't know if this will be good. I have no idea. It looking terrible. But here's the thing: I'm not some big defender of the original Jumanji. Was Jumanji a thing before the Robin Williams movie? I don't remember.
What do you mean, if it was a thing?
As in, was it like a game or anything like a
No.
TV series
It wasn't. It was just some. It was a movie,
script.
and then of course there was the
and
the animated series. And I think there was a game for it. I think. Yeah.
But they probably made the actual board game for it.
But I think there was a video game centered on the board game, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't give a shit about the original movie that much. I mean, it was kind of cool for its time, but I was not hyped.
It's really a product of its time. But to me, like, I remember a couple things with it. I remember the late great Roger Ebert criticizing it and saying that this movie might actually scare kids because you have all these wild animals coming out of a game, like intent of like killing the child characters. I was like, come on, it's just a dumb summer movie, and that's what it was. You know, it's something that you remember. It's like, oh yeah, back in '96, this came out, and
what was it? It was Robin Williams. David Allen Greer was in this, I think.
I can't remember who else was in it. You know? I just remember that monkey just being like this really weird looking character. If you look at it now, it's like it looks terrible. It looks terrible.
This not looking looking funny in the sense that alright, they're doing the whole role reversal and they're switching up the characters, and it's to see everybody play kind of the opposite look of them anyway, like because they're high school kids or whatever, or middle school kids, and then they, you know, it's a girl, it's a prissy girl, a nerdy girl.
But you have the black kid.
Two black characters. Well, surprisingly, two black characters, but they had the jock, and then they had the nerdy black kid or short.
I didn't even pick up on stereotypes.
Right, that's what it was. It was just
1, 2, 3, 4 people.
Right, the high school stereotypes, and then all of them do a kind of role reversal with each of them. So they have the hot prissy girl in Jack Black body.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. Although I find that the
Jack
jokes
Black, right?
Jack Black was
Jack Black, okay.
Yeah, but it's like, oh gosh, been there, seen that somebody in this.
Right, and then they have the nerdy girl in the hot body. And like,
that's McGill Karen Gillan, you know, from Galaxy.
Right.
Yeah. And I like how, like, on the net, they like, well, explain why her outfit is like
and
this,
they made fun of
and why her stomach is exposed. Like, oh my god, my stomach is like.
Yeah, they made fun of it immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like, it totally fit within the stereotype of the show, so it's like, alright, whatever.
Yeah, but they just had me at the video game thing.
Right.
When I saw that, I was like,
I don't care about that. I don't care about that either way, because it's like, whatever. It's a board game. It's an Atari video game. Like,
but this kind of undermined what the point was. It's a game. You roll the dice.
Right.
Thing happens.
Thing.
So it's all on chance. Not like you select a level and boom,
that's
you're
the thing.
there.
So they mix, but they drop it backwards anyway, because it's like, it kind of like how the cartoon was, if I remember correctly, where you go into the game instead of Robin Williams going into the game. Remember that?
I remember the cartoon, but it was still based off a chance with dice and stuff. Yeah.
And this one more like Tron more than.
Yeah, more like
right.
Legacy.
Right, I saw it is. It's like, they get sucked into a video game.
Yeah. And in case the title didn't really hint it, we have to play that song from AC/DC.
Yeah,
welcome to the jungle.
Because little children don't know what that is. Little children don't know what it is. I don't know who this for. But here's the thing: the Goosebumps movie wasn't half bad.
Okay.
And if you're a big fan of the Goosebumps, but you see, they have a whole legacy of novels.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. But with this, I don't know who's these Jumanji kids who love Jumanji. So
I know, but they are fans of the movie, you know. Let me be real. They are fans. I don't think they're going to like this at all.
Well, whatever. Moving on. Marvel will come and go. I expect it to be bullshit.
Yeah, and they're coming up Christmas, so I have a feeling it'll be just like, remember Point Break when it came out a couple of years before Christmas, and people didn't give a shit because Star Wars came out?
Right.
Yeah, so I have a feeling it's going to be just like that. It'll just come and go.
Right.
And people will just see it last minute and be like, yeah, worst movie of the year.
Yeah, so coming up, we will be doing just the reviews for Jay-Z's new album.
Yes, 444.
Yeah. We'll talk about... we should talk about Kendrick Lamar's new video.
Yes, we need to.
Although everybody do a think piece on this shit already. But
yeah.
I'm surprised the usual people who will do a think piece on something like this did it so quickly. Like, they put it out one fucking time, Jordan. Like, wow, you put out your video for this one time, all right.
You know? But the video for this, if I'm not mistaken, it came out Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday came out. It's for Element. Yeah. One of my favorite tracks off of the Damn album. Mm-hmm. What I love about it is that how abstract the images are, right?
No, okay, so it's a bunch of like old photography references. If you know who people like I pick up on, it's like, oh shit, there's Gordon Parks though.
Okay, I didn't know that. Right.
He's an old photographer. He used to do a sort of stuff for, I think, Time magazine or something.
Yeah, I know Gordon Parks, but I didn't know they were referencing.
It's correct because the same shot, the same photography. Right. So like, all right, cool, and I think they did a reference to I think it has some Robert Mapplethorpe in there as well.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, I had to look it up. I know it Gordon Parks for sure.
Right. But as you mentioned, photography, the cinematography for these shots,
fantastic.
Freaking
By the way, I already get it locked for that. So like, all right, cool. I'll slap that in Da Vinci.
nice.
I'll go outside and film one of my birds and then, you know.
Yeah. I mean, props for whoever it is directing these videos for the album. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But my God,
I forget the dude's name, but it's this guy who did. I think he did the last one.
DNA, which I loved, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Humble. Yeah,
Humble. Yeah, he did Humble as well. And
just the visuals for these 3 videos thus far are excellent.
He's a really big time modern filmmaker. Because Kendrick have an eye for talent, much like Kanye West. You look for your film talent, you pay them money, and they make a good video for you.
Yeah, but what I read into the images, though, abstract as they are, I mean, they're not too abstract that they don't understand what's going on. But it's really generally about the cycle of violence in today's society. Yeah. So you have this little kid being shown by his dad how to fight and punch and I believe it was either him who fell off the roof or him was just getting beat up or whatever like that.
But they did the whole thing because the thing with fighting, that whole cycle of violence, and you teach people to fight, but at the same time you teach them the place of violence in our society.
Exactly.
At least to understand violence, not necessarily you had to go and fight and beat up somebody, but understand. Look, shit could go down, understand that, and that's
right, and that's what they show. Like you see Kendrick with one group, and then the next group roll up in a van and like they're ready to fight, and you even see Kendrick throw a little punch, and I like how they kind of cut back,
which is the fakest slap.
I know, this bit slap thing, and it really reflects what he's saying on the album, even right down to the chorus where he say, if I have to slap a pussy ass nigga, I'm gonna make it look sexy. Right. So it's like real glamorized and stuff, the way how it looks, the whole slow mo shot, but at the same time it's like, well, at this environment where I'm at, I might end up having to do this. Yeah. I might want to, but it might have a moment where somebody might try to, beat me up, and I might have to take action.
It's just understanding any martial art should tell you that. It's like, no, the first thing you do when you get accosted on the street or whatever it is run. Yeah. Or
the art to fight without fighting, as Bruce Lee said.
Yeah, you avoid it. You avoid conflict. But this I kind of get what the narrative is. The cycle of violence totally work. Mm-hmm. Decent video, love the song. Damn album is not my favorite Kendrick. It's still Section 80.
I know. Section 80 is so great. Yeah. Damn is one that still has to grow on me, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does make it to my top 10. Right. But I really enjoyed the video as well. Right. I don't know if we're gonna get any more videos. I believe we're supposed to get one for Loyalty. Right. That's the collab with Rihanna. Right. Yeah. I was expecting one for Love, because Love has a single wordy kind of sound to it anyway.
Yeah, it's a radio play.
Yeah, radio play kind of thing.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do a review of Jay-Z's new album.
Yes, 444.
Yeah, I gonna admit it. He sang a song and it's directed to me, which was men ripping it off a Tidal. That was funny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Made fun of those kind of people. Yeah. Sorry to say it, because I have a visceral hatred of what Tidal is. And I totally understand that. But it was a totally bad move.
Yeah, from a business perspective, I get. But at the same time,
it's dumb.
I don't need this.
It's really, really dumb. Tidal is really useless. I know I have Tidal on my phone. Right. And I end up getting it anyway.
Yeah, but why have to pay for music that either not gonna come out or I just not gonna care about?
No, I had it a while now because like, alright, I just want to see how much Tidal stuff. But Tidal real useless, and the only reason I kind of get it is because I just want to get a lot of just Jeezy music off the cuff.
Right.
Off the cuff, but my Tidal subscriptions be real intermittent.
Alright, but question on Tidal: how regular do music come out? Like, is it like tracks or?
No, right. It has been bursts of tracks. Yeah, it has been like something that's come out and it's like how Netflix is. That's what it is. I mean, it's just the same model. So it'll have bursts of music ever so often. But most of it is just for me, it's just the old catalog stuff I care about now. I just go back and say, hey, I want to listen to Volume 3.
Right.
Because that's it.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And in the end of the day, I'll push come shove. I don't listen to that much music, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just not follow my subscription to Tidal this month. And then 2 months or 3 months will pass. Like, oh, I want to get this, and it's only because our album comes, and I'll sign back up for it, pay out whatever, $5, and then that's it.
Right.
And you move on.
Yeah.
It's really inconvenient. Sorry to say it, but Jay-Z called me out. Cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he make me out with that.
But it's whatever. But it is a pathological relationship, and I totally understand why Tidal could be failing. From what I understand, it is failing. But we'll see. But big music things like that, they stick around for a long time. Anyway, we'll do a review. Right.
So you do. So I will do a review of it, and in addition to that, Ricardo is going to review a movie from. It's a movie that came out. I believe it premiered in Cannes a while back. It's from Netflix. It's called Okja. It's a South Korean film.
Or How to Turn Children into Vegans.
Yeah, the director's name escapes me, but I know he's the guy who did the post.
Sorry?
Pung Chon.
Pocho Sung, I think.
Yeah. Sorry if you
got
the name
wrong.
But anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
I remember
I've been meaning to check it out, but this weekend was kind of hectic for me, so I didn't get around to that.
Yeah.
But I did see season 1 of Glow, which was a series that I was excited for.
That's the opposite. So I had the opposite case. I had to make the choice. I didn't get a chance to see Glow, so Matt will talk about that.
I'll review that.
But both of us saw.
Baby Driver, which is a movie that we were excited for.
The latest from Edgar Wright.
Latest from Edgar Wright. So we'll share our thoughts on that. So all right. So let me just jump into 444.
Yeah.
Right. So this is believe it or not, the 14th album from
14 to 13.
14th studio album.
Okay.
Yeah. And 13th solo album from Jay-Z. Okay. Remember there was Watch It Throne, which I actually liked from way back in 2011.
Does Best of Both Worlds count?
Oh yes, those two collaborations, those two albums.
No, here's the thing, Best of
Both Worlds and Unfinished Business, and then afterwards the rivalry.
Best of Both Worlds is. It have a couple tracks. It wasn't the worst album ever. It have a couple tracks I actually like on it. But
I actually like the title track
exactly. It's a pretty good track.
It has a nice. What is it? I think it's Just Please.
Yeah.
He has those horns in it. I love that.
But no, it's just how disastrous that tour was.
Oh yes.
Like I don't know for years. It's something I never thought about. I was like, wait, how come Jay-Z and R. Kelly never had a big relationship with each other after that? I thought it was a decent enough album. I realized it's one disastrous ass tour. Went down, and it's like, wait, that's a real petition though. And for others, everybody in the conspiracy that Jay-Z sabotaged it. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about conspiracies with this.
Of course, yeah.
Because Israel airing out a dirty laundry. You kind of see going on.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, but yeah, it was just funny to see how that whole thing just fall. Because you get into the history, and it's like, wow, real pettiness went down with Jay-Z and R. Kelly though. You'd be shocked how somebody at that level could be so goddamn petty. But yeah. That's how it is.
And I think around the time when the second album was supposed to come out, that's when the rivalry took place. Yeah. And I think they just released the tracks that they didn't put out now.
Yeah. Just don't care.
Yeah.
At that point.
But
whatever.
Moving on.
Right. So this album. The shorthand for this album is that it's I like to call it the BoJack Horseman of rap albums. Because boy, it's just real shit getting dropped throughout this whole album. It's just confessions and emotions getting spilled out.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, this is a fact though. This is in the world though. This out there now. Okay. Yeah. Right true.
What I would say is, as a Jay-Z fan, I think it makes sense because of his age. He's getting older.
Yeah. It reminds me slightly of Life is Good from Nas.
Life is Good.
Yeah, where you're getting older. Time to be reflective. Time to be introspective.
Yes.
Let's see what you could do. And yeah, Jay-Z come good with it. It's actually one of his better albums in my opinion from that standpoint. Now I'll admit there are no really big bumping tracks in this.
That's the point technically.
2 or 3 of the tracks. Well, but the same thing with Nas too. Is like 2 or 3 of the tracks are decent enough. I like the opening track. Mm-hmm. I like Life of OG. It's a really catchy track, even though it's one of those one of those really subversive tracks when you think about it, especially when it comes to dealing with race. And then the track, as you mentioned earlier, before we started the podcast, you mentioned earlier the Damon Marley.
Yes.
Track of Damon Marley, pretty good. Enjoy that. But yeah, really those two tracks that really got me thinking. But then I started listening to the lyrics of some of these tracks overall. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
what's going on, boy?
He gets
deep.
Down with this way.
It goes deep. It's like, wow, Jeezy. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll just continue from here, right?
Yeah.
So I will do like a track by track review. The good thing about this is that it's actually 10 tracks. It's actually 36 minutes long. Yeah. Which surprised me though, because I was like, well, wow, we're going back to the 90s when men used to bring out, like men like Scarface used to bring out albums that was like 42 minutes long, and even like Nas himself, Illmatic was like what 42 minutes long there about? Yeah.
Cut
like,
the
wow,
fat.
we're going back. Cutting the fat. Drake, anyone?
Yeah, Drake.
That freaking More Life album, 81 minutes.
Yeah,
why?
Nonsense.
Why? And you have the audacity to call it a mixtape, so it's just well, these are just the songs that I love, and here you go, 81 minutes of just me singing and rapping. Why?
Edit that shit down. Cut that shit.
It
have people who listen to all of that, but I am definitely not one of them.
I only listen to the album once. I have no intention of listening to that from start to end. That's what I mean.
That's goddamn bullshit. I mean, I could understand if you're belting out a bunch of different albums and it's not that long. Like, okay, say Future doing the two-part thing.
Yeah, he doing two-part thing.
Yeah, he just belted out albums, even though it's a sort of crap.
And styles just going all over the place.
But that's Future. Future's a person who have no discernible style at all.
Yeah.
That was never. He's just a trap guy, and he just talk mumbly shit over a decent beat.
Yeah.
That's his shtick. In fact, to the point where he is an instrumental on his own. Whatever. Point is, I don't mind that, but you see that shit Drake do? Like, no.
Yeah, boy.
No. Unacceptable.
And the worst thing about it, we'll talk about, we get to Jay-Z in a bit. What the worst thing is
a Michael Label shit.
Once again, the writers and the bloggers and stuff like that who write for these magazines and stuff, they would be like, well, it's Drake, and I know the album long, but I mean, it's Drake. I mean, he puts out great hits, so let me put it in my best stuff now. You know what I mean? Because if we don't, we'll get make out. The people cuss we out.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why? If you don't like the album, just say that.
Drake has an insane fan base. Like, it's a fan base is like, wait, this is like shit. Like, you wonder if it's a Stockholm syndrome going on. It's like, look, yes, Drake is a very hardworking artist. I'm not knocking that.
True.
It's a torrent of mediocrity, though.
Yeah.
Let us be clear about that shit now.
Look, this and views is just real filler and mediocrity, man.
Yeah, look, the man have his tracks. I ain't saying no. It have tracks. It have some genuinely great Drake songs out there. But seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Chill that shit out now. The man have an insane fan base. Why? Why is these people so much of a big fan of this man? What do they see in this man that whatever?
Right. Yeah, so I think it's like about a week or so when the announcement came out that this album was coming out. Like, just literally out of the blue. People like, what?
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah. Well, okay, before you start, just two little hip-hop things.
Yes.
I mentioned. All right, Future comes out next album. What the fuck?
What?
Yeah. I listened to it. I don't care. Yeah. As I say, he's doing a two-pack thing.
No. Well, all right. Like, I know he brought out 2 albums this year. I know that. But he's bringing out a next one?
Yeah, next set of bullshit. That out, and then I wanted to mention Joe Budden again. We gotta talk about Joe Budden because Joe Budden cracking me up because look.
Let me mention Joe Budden. Why not?
Okay, so you watch the BT Awards. See what happened there?
No, so I heard things that happened.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole BT Awards. I didn't watch any of it. I just follow it on Twitter. I didn't watch any of it live. I'll probably make the effort to go see it after.
Yeah, me too.
I'll probably just see it. I'll probably torrent it, watch it quick.
I especially want to see what happened with Remy Ma.
Right.
Especially want to see what happened with.
I thought that would have been bigger.
I
thought that would have been bigger with Remy Ma beating out Nicki Minaj. I thought that would have blown up more now, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Joe Budden just having this complete goddamn meltdown over rap and where rap should be. And here's the thing: I totally understand where the man coming from. Especially in the light of Lil Yachty and
Uzi Vert
and them. Like, it kind of getting ridiculous. But at the same time, his tone and attitude is absolutely ridiculous too.
Yeah.
Like,
and we'll talk about this later with the album review. There's one specific track that addresses this. I was supposed to mention that, right? Better mention Future album. Holy shit, there's a line about Future in this. Oh shit, that is. I remember that. Yes, I heard it. I was like,
it take me a while to pick up what went on there. It's like I said, it's like, wait, no. You say, and then oh shit, and it take me 5 seconds, 10 seconds to connect. Wait. What happened there? Like a real draft though. Like, wow. Anyway, Joe Budden having a complete meltdown. I will have to have a full expose about Joe Budden in the future if this behavior continues. Because Joe Budden is like, This is really ridiculous.
But my thing is, he is much better than this.
That is my thing. It's like, you're too big for the shit.
Much better than that.
Like, I totally get where the man coming from. I totally get it. But, good God, man, this man have a horrible attitude, dude.
Like I know he have, it's like just emotional issues and stuff. I get that, but he's too big of an, well, I mean big, I mean in terms of lyricism. Just stop what he's doing.
Lyricism be maturity.
Yeah.
Because if the whole point, like I get it, because your whole thing is, right now the man is just straight up get off my lawn killing Eastwood.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but A, you're not that old, B, and look, the man, people accuse him of being a corny rapper. Which I don't necessarily believe, but I think he's an excellent lyricist.
Me too.
Because I remember back in the days when he did Pump It Up.
Yeah.
He was kind of silly then.
Yeah, but that was commercial. That was commercial.
And then when they started listening,
when he joined with Slaughterhouse, it's like, well, holy shit.
Yeah, the man is a hard rapper. He's a person he was underrated. He's a person I discovered to be quite underrated for years.
Yeah, but
I didn't know that until
I think some people just probably find he's whiny because he's always about, this emotional stuff to going on, and again over alcoholism or whatever it is.
That is my
those
thing.
kind of things.
Yeah, because his attitude is about art and how seriously you should take art.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And I get the idea that you shouldn't have, your art should come from a real place. I totally get that. So when you see VYDA and them just being silly and care, never make care kind of attitude, I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, thing is, Yachty surprisingly dark and deep in his own way. Right? Even though, but you had to listen to the lyrics, you wouldn't see it from the tone. You hear it on the radio and it's like, well, this man is a devil maker. Oh, oh my. And I spied my little eye and all that shit, right?
Yeah, not that. Yeah. Well, it's Kyle and...
Right.
Yeah.
But my point is, the same thing with Dram, it's about being friendly, but at the same time, it has still some deep shit with it. Will we get a deep Yachty in the future? Probably. Not sure. Time after tell.
Yeah.
But
now with that album he came out with this year, that Teenage Emotions thing, no.
Stupidness, right?
Stupid.
Right? The person I kind of put in the middle of the whole thing is probably like somebody like 21 Savage, where you started to really investigate what's going on with them, and it's like, oh, this is some dark shit, but at the same time, you're kind of silly and kind of hard for me to take them seriously.
Like No Heart though, which I still say is the worst.
Yeah, No Heart is a mess, but No Heart has some dark ass lyrics, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, where you went with this? Alright.
So many shots people think is the 4th of July?
Yeah, really? Alright. But at the same time, that's a problem with people like that's the interesting thing about black hip hop, young millennial black hip hop artists at the same time. It's very difficult to tell the difference between, it's a kind of pose law thing. Where everybody know what pose law is. It's something on the internet where you can't tell the difference between humor, a parody, and the legitimate ordeal.
Right.
Because either a philosophical or ideological position will be so ridiculous, you can't tell if it's a real opinion or if it's parody of that opinion. That's what
I see what you mean.
Right.
Because especially with rap today, you have a big example of this is Slim Jesus,
right?
Where he's talking about, he wouldn't go around and shoot people, but in his videos he has fake guns and everybody has fake
and
guns.
Can't tell, right, exactly.
Talking about I'll shoot you in your head.
It's the same thing with them. It's like you can't tell if they're parodying what's going on
or trolling you,
right? Or if they went through that shit in real. Here's the thing: in the case of 21 Savage, when you do the research, like holy shit, some of the shit really happened to him.
Yeah.
Like in terms of his violence, and when he had to move out of school.
Because he came in with a gun.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
all that kind
He had a whole set of drama. It's like, oh, this guy.
Although he was defending that line and he was saying he had it to defend himself.
Right, but that's the thing. That's a real opinion to hold. So it's an interesting place of humor right now. In terms of humor, because it's not Lonely Island. No. Right? It's not those guys where that's definite parody. None of them went through none of that shit. Clearly, even though they put real artists like Too Short who went through some of that shit.
Yep.
Right. However, in the case of 21 Savage, it's this, you're not sure if it's a parody, you're not sure if they're being an edgelord, or if they're really going through the shit. And it's an interesting cacophony of emotions.
Exactly, yeah.
Fascinating. It's not completely empty. And that's why I find myself going against Joe Budden on this whole ordeal.
Right.
Because he's trying to dismiss the whole thing and throw it out. And I do agree with him on that. I'm defending the youth.
Yeah.
It's the Principal Skinner meme, right? Am I wrong? No, it's the youth that are wrong. No, I defended the youth today. And I'm being Principal Skinner. And I just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah,
but
good points there, because I'm actually gonna take bits of that and gonna incorporate it into a particular track on this album.
Right.
So so let me just jump into this one time. So so the album came out Friday.
Yeah.
Well, Friday before the time I was just recording here. Checked it out. So I'll just do like this track by track review here. Yeah. So we start off with Kill GZ, right? Oh, before I forget, the entirety of this album is produced by No ID, who is, of course, Kanye West's mentor. He was the guy who did the entirety of Common's second album and still remains my favorite Common album, Resurrection.
Yeah.
He also produced Death of Autotune. Yes, great song. That
hot.
Yeah, love that. Success off of the American Gangster album, love that track too. And of course, Run This Town, which was a hard tune off of Volume 3, the Blueprint. Yeah, Volume 3. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Blueprint 3. What am I saying?
Yeah,
I get confused with Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and
Blueprint 3.
Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter. I get confused.
My favorite common album is B, but I'm a basic bitch, so...
Yeah, well, everybody loves B because of what Kanye did, and it's Kanye that helped make the album.
I'm a basic bitch, so I could pretend that, is the best thing. It's not the best. It's not the best album.
Yeah, but there was something about Resurrection and the beats there, something really soulful about it, right? But, so we'll get to the first track, which is called Kill Jay-Z.
Yeah. Love this track.
Yes.
I actually really like this track.
I really like the mellow beat here. It's really smooth. And one thing that carries over in every track on this album is there's like these particular vocal samples from like old songs and things, and they're always kind of chopped up or distorted in some kind of weird way. But that's all on No ID's production here.
Yeah.
But here, according to G himself, this is not about literally killing Jay-Z.
Right.
Some people always thinking, it reminds me of like when the 99 Problems video came out, and there was that shot where he got riddled with bullets. Well, not really riddled with bullets, but you could tell he was getting shot at. And then he had to do that disclaimer afterwards saying, well, it's not bad, literally, blah, 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 come on, it's like, come on.
All these idiots is taking it seriously.
So I'm taking it seriously. Right. So he's really talking about killing his ego. And that pretty much sets up this album here. It's not about him bragging and boasting throughout the entirety of the album. He does it here or there. But here is really about him just letting that ego, just bringing it down, and he's just being real. He's just stripping himself off. And that essentially is what this album is about. It's just him stripping away all that ego that he was developing over his career, and just him just being stark naked, him being real. Yeah. And here,
every track is 4/4/4 by the way. In terms of length?
No. Actually, no. But I'll get to that 4/4/4 thing in a bit, right? So here, this is one of the tracks that a lot of people are gonna be quoting and citing off when they talk about this album here, because he just talks about a whole set of shit here. What I like here is that he kind of mentions that is the ego that helped shape his career here. There are consequences there. There are some bad things to it. So you could tell he has this heavy heart when he's rapping about when he says, what up Jay-Z, you owe the truth to all the youth that fell in love with Jay-Z. You got people you love sold drugs too. You got high on the life. That shit drugged you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Because, yes, he did start... Well, before he started rapping, he was selling drugs. Yeah. And then, with his Reasonable Doubt album, he was kind of glamorizing that whole drug dealer life.
Here's the thing with that. I would still say that whole drug thing is a really overrated statement. I'm not that impressed with that. Because the way you make it... Again, it's him...
Like, he's the biggest, baddest drug dealer.
Right. The baddest Pablo Escobar, right?
No. But that was the persona that he had
on the first album. Right, and it worked. By the time it totally worked... especially that first album, because he was not the Hawaiian shirt kid anymore, right?
Okay, no, not that Hawaiian Sophie shit no more.
Yeah, that days done. So he totally changed his style. Remember, that was a big change about that. Is that he was like, wait, this not something like Jay-Z. I told anybody who knew Jay-Z was before, totally changed his style. Look back at it.
He just kept the whole fast rap thing.
Right.
He just slow it down a little bit.
Exactly. But the thing is that he had almost a very, very similar style to Jazzo.
Yeah, well, Jazzo was his ex-mentor actually.
Yeah, pretty much, and but he switched it up. I can imagine they would have split over something like that. Or
they did. I don't think they are friends anymore.
Yeah, because of something like that, and that's a big thing. That's a really, really important thing. However, next.
I also like where he mentions something like, what does he say? You walking around like you invincible. You dropped out of school. You lost your principles. So it's just kind of like him. The kind of things he would rap about before, like, I didn't need to go to college and get a degree to make all this money, and now he's kind of looking back like, well, it kind of sucks now that I have to kind of come out and reveal this now. Yeah. But here, where people are gonna cite this a lot is actually a few people that he kind of calls out here. First one being Kanye West.
Yeah. That was shocking.
And it took me a while to really pick up on it, but I was like, okay.
I like, all right.
So the line goes like this: but you ain't a saint. This ain't kumbaya. Saint being a reference to Kanye's second child, his son, Saint West.
Yeah.
And then continues, but you got hurt because you did cool by Ye.
Yeah.
You gave him 20 million without blinking. He gave you 20 minutes on stage. Fuck was he thinking? And that's, of course, with the Sacramento issue when he went up on stage. He was like, radio, fuck you, and all that kind of thing. He called up Beyonce and say, well, how come you didn't talk about me when you get your award? And Jay-Z's like, well, how come you ain't talking to me, bro? You know, that kind of thing. And he just like straight up embarrassed himself. He was like, boo, fuck Kanye and all that kind of stuff now.
I was actually surprised by this because I thought Jay-Z wouldn't respond to that at all. Like, all right. Wow.
And then it continues where he says, fuck wrong with everybody is what you're seeing. But if everybody's crazy, you're the one that's insane. I was like, damn.
Yeah, good line.
And I think like Kanye right now, actually, he heard the line and he wasn't really offended by it. Shockingly enough, he's like, all right, I get it. Okay. I fucked up. All right. It happens, you know. Another person that he mentioned here too is Beyonce's sister, Solange. So like,
that coming. You know what I was coming.
Yeah, so he's like, you egg Solange on, knowing all along all you had to say you was wrong. You almost went Eric Benet. Let the baddest kill in the world get away. You know? And of course, Eric Benet being Halle Berry's ex and all that kind of stuff. I like how you say, I don't even know what else to say. Nigga, never go Eric Benet. I love that line.
That's funny. Brutal.
Yeah. But the line where you mentioned here where he takes shot at Feature, like when I hear it, I was like, alright, it's a nice clever thing, but I didn't take it as a shot.
No, I take,
but when I read it up,
I take my while.
Right, so what he says is, I don't even know what you would have done in the future, other niggas playing football with your son. Which is clearly like, Ciara's son has another daddy now.
So on the internet, there's a term. There's a term mostly used by, I don't know what to call them, but a good bit of it is alt-right, but other people is kind of Donald Trump supporters. There's a term called cuck. It's been popularized for the last 18 months or so.
Right.
And that's what cuck is. It's basically, you some other man taking your child and doing things with your child, and it's like, well, who being cucked exactly? Is it you or him? Because on the one end, is the man raising your child, but at the same time, can I have your child?
Yeah.
You could go both ways with that.
Right.
But that was brutal, John. That was brutal.
It was.
It had memes. It had funny memes about Future.
I need to look for those memes.
There's that two pictures I see with Future. With one where they showed Future that's like with headphones in his ears. It's a real picture apparently, and he having his real disapproving look.
Right.
And they just put a caption him listening to that last line. And then our next one with Future with another disapproving look on his face, and they have the caption. It's like, wait, the Jay-Z album going hard. Wait, what the fuck?
Wow.
It's like you're a shit up thing.
Yeah. But just to get back to that line though, with you almost went Eric Benet, let the baddest killing will get away, right? But how I read it too was also a reference to Beyonce and the inspiration behind her album Lemonade, which was one of my favorite albums of last year. With the At first I was telling myself, oh, this is like a speculation, Jay-Z cheating on her, Why would Jay-Z of all people cheat on Beyonce of all people, But then that's what people thought with Eric Benet, like, why would Eric Benet cheat on somebody like Halle Berry, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing, so that's why he says, like, nigga, never go Eric Benet and shit, like, come on, you don't do that, But what this track really sets up is like this whole personal introspective look at his life now. And I really felt that this was a really great way to start things off.
Yeah.
So track number 2, we have the story of OJ.
Yes.
And no, this is not a song really about OJ's career and life.
Not necessarily. But the subtext of it is there. They make it work in the sense that, well, by the way, there's a music video for it.
All right. Haven't seen it. I saw the thumbnail for it.
It does this old, the old timey Merry Melodies
kind
of type of animation that really bizarre old style, and a lot of those old cartoons had a lot of racist shit in it.
Yeah, like you're a sap Mr. Jap from Popeye.
Right. No, but just
I know that was about Japanese.
But with black, but you could find because the Forbidden 7 or the Forgotten 7, I forget what it's called it. It's basically these the Censored 11. Sorry,
or the band.
It's called the Censored 11 if I remember correctly, and it's basically about 11 cartoons that is just these really offensive. Disney kind of just try to scrub them from the record.
Right.
But you can find them in the vault, and it's online. You can find them relatively easily.
Yeah.
And it's some really, really old jazz. It's a lot of jazz stuff, but it's really just a lot of mommy stuff, blackface stuff.
Of course, black faces, white lips, that kind of thing.
That big lip, big red lip stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, the video though does that. It just plays on that. It's like the word nigger. You could embrace it or. And you get into that weird cultural double standard of, well, who should use it, or is this offensive and who should it be offensive to, blah 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 blah.
Right.
It becomes a mess, but this video is pretty cool in that sense. It does it's Jay-Z moving around, and it just show. I thought it's really, really inspired actually.
Right.
Doing things like that. Really clever video in my opinion.
Well, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Right? So on the production perspective, No ID chops up a few vocal samples from Nina Simone's famous song "For Woman."
Yeah.
I remember that Talib Kweli actually based one of his songs off of his that collaboration with High Tech Reflection Tidal. Love that album.
Yeah.
On that specific track. But the only point when he mentions OJ is like early on before he actually gets in the first verse where he says, OJ, like, I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. And that really says a lot, because like if you're familiar with OJ's story, of course, OJ Me in America, still the best movie of 2016.
Yeah, totally
and
recommend
of course,
that
American Crime Story. You know, just that story of OJ.
Yeah.
Him being accused of being a sellout, and then when he got accused of killing his wife, now all of a sudden he's like this black poster child. Like, we must defend him, we must support him.
And it was really fascinating to watch that paradigm switch. Yeah, at the time.
And what I like here about this specific track, at least this is what I got out of it. I know there's more layers to it. It's really like about him rapping from the perspective of being the past drug dealer and the present mogul that he is today.
Yeah.
So in the first verse he's talking about having a lot of money also, but however he kind of regrets that he didn't get around to buying any property in the same neighborhood that he was hustling from.
Right.
So there's a line where he says, I could have bought a place in Dumbo. Dumbo is really an acronym for down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass.
Right.
So he says, I could have bought a place in Dumbo before it was Dumbo for like $2 million. That same building today is worth $25 million.
Right.
Guess how I'm feeling?
Right.
Dumbo.
Right.
Right.
Good luck.
So that kind of thing there. And then in the second verse, he's talking about he's able to buy artwork for like $1 million.
Right.
And then he talk about, but they always, 1 year it's like $2 million.
Yeah.
Some years it's going to be $8 million. I'm going to give that shit to my children, you know?
And I love that part also because I was really annoyed with the last album.
Magna Carta, where he was talking.
Right. Holy Grail.
What was that song that he, oh gosh.
With
I know,
Abramovich. With Abramovich's video, and that video was so goddamn stupid.
The song I forgot, but I know the producer of it. Yeah, it was Picasso Baby. I know the producer was one of my favorite producers right now, Adrian Young.
Yeah,
he brought that sort of that 60s vibe, that ding 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 kind of thing.
I don't know, it's a great track, but the thing is, the video is the worst thing ever. I hate that
with him being in this art gallery, showing off art and something.
Yeah, like, and it was stupid. No, it had Marina Abramovich, I think, was the artist. She is this famous, artist, the performance artist type now. She's doing all this crazy shit, and she's actually a pretty cool person in my opinion.
Okay.
However, that's not the direction.
I think the video was pointless actually.
The video was dumb.
I just literally
forgot. The video was real
about
dumb. It's lazy. I thought they'd do more with that. However, the thing is, it's not that direction Jesus. I really thought this was the direction Jesus was going in his career. It's like, oh, you're going to be introspective in this way,
right?
And he's gonna be, this, and like honestly,
and then put also like what Tom Ford and stuff.
Yeah, it's not bullshit. And I was like, I really thought they would have. I thought that's the career trajectory for a while now. Like, oh, you're gonna get Madonna now.
Yeah,
she's going to turn to Madonna essentially. And I was like, yeah. I'm glad he come back to earth in this way with this. It is what do you call it? Boy, was the famous black artist he was referencing? Oh gosh,
gosh, I forget his name.
Basquiat. Yeah. I thought it would be like, oh, you're gonna try to be a Basquiat type. I was like, no, Basquiat was Basquiat. Sorry, guy's a different fella.
Right.
I really thought it was gonna be that. You're gonna try to tap into that, and that is something that you could have a phase for. Kanye kind of went through that phase too.
Yeah, I remember he used to always, like, when he was in France and studying art before he did his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album and stuff.
Look, it's a cool phase, interesting, but that shit can't last, and it don't work for hip hop in many ways.
Yeah, but right. So get back to the story of OJ. So I like in the second verse where he's talking about this artwork is worth this amount of money here.
Yeah.
But I love that line where he says, "Your tick is bougie." I'm like, it's fine. But I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. Right. So at the end of the day, he still have a business. He could spend the rest of his life studying art and buying art, but at the same time, he has a business. He has Tidal. He still has to sell music, and if the music don't sell, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So I like that he's able to be that self-aware. The flows are potent throughout this, but I think the one drawback to it is that the way how they deliver this kind of slow, kind of medium pace and a bit kind of slow to medium pace, I should say. So it's almost like in this kind of like, I don't want to say lazy, but more sparse in a sense now. Almost like he's just kind of bored of the riches that he has, and not just from riches, but just the fact that nothing really gonna change. It's just like, well, you know what, whatever. So like in the chorus where he's like, light nigga, dark nigga, poor nigga, rich, real nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, house nigga, field nigga, still nigga. Right. Still nigga, you know, it's kind of sparse the way how it's delivered now. And, you know, the first time I heard it, I was like, well, it's kind of sloppy a bit or kind of lackadaisical in a way, but I kind of get where he's coming from. I get that it's intentional. It's just like, well, you know what, that's how it is.
Yeah,
not really going to change, so whatever, fuck it. You know, it comes off like that. But overall, I really dug this track. I just find that it was just a little bit sparse in terms of the lyrical delivery.
Yeah.
Then we get to track 3, Smile, which is one of my favorite tracks. Features his mother himself, Gloria Carter. This is actually the longest track in the album. It runs for like 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Right.
This is a very heartfelt, uplifting song. We're just talking about, like, you know, we all go through bad things in life, but, you know, it really can help shape us. It can really help us to shape a better life for us, you know, in the future. I love the female vocals throughout the song. I love Gloria Carter's spoken word piece that she does in the end. And also in the track, something that I never knew, I don't think a lot of people knew. His mom was a lesbian. Like, what? Okay.
Now, the part of that reveal itself was interesting on its own. That is big news, but the big part about it is that, because 50 Cent also, the same thing from what I understand.
Oh yeah, in Hated or Love It, where he said he was confused seeing his mom kissing a girl.
Right. But in the case of...
well, I haven't seen any proof for that, so I just kind of always let that line slide.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. In the case of this, though, it's not just that, but the fact that the emotions about just being in the closet for that long, and especially in the black community, how that could just completely destroy a person.
Yeah, like part of like he says, Mama had 4 kids, but she's a lesbian. Had to pretend so long that she's a thespian. Had to hide in the closet so she medicate. Society's shame and the pain was too much to take.
Yeah, you know? That is the powerful part. I mean, that is the part that was interesting. I was like, oh wow. I didn't expect that at all.
And I love though on the subject of that, where in the end Gloria talks about, you know, living in the shadow. Can you imagine what kind of life it is to live, you know? In the shadows, people see you as happy and free because that's what you want them to see, you know? That's that complexity behind that now, you know, being in the shadows, being in the dark, you know, that kind of thing, because you're free of harming your loved ones, you know? But, you know, in the end of the day, you have to embrace life. You have to, you know, accept it. You have to go out and live your life. You know, some things might turn out bad, but it's either that or you just stay in the shadows and just in fear, you know, basically. So I just love that kind of inspirational aspect of the of this song. I love the instrumental for this one. It's really bright, very inspirational stuff. I love the Stevie Wonder sample that they use in the chorus. It's really nice. And yeah, the bars, you know, Dayz, you know, spits are really great bars. He sounds a little bit more energetic here than he did in the story of Okja, which I guess is the point anyway. But you know, I really dug this track. The next track is Caught Their Eyes, featuring your boy Frank Ocean. This is their third collaboration. Sorry, the first one being No Church in the Wild, which one of my favorite tracks off of What You Throne. I love that beat, by the way. It's so dark and haunting. And of course, your favorite track off of Magna Carta, Waves, I believe it was. I always picture like there would be a video for, like, I always imagine like them being on this yacht. It has this kind of feel like, you know, just being in the ocean. It has this kind of feel to it, that kind of majestic feel. But like they just never did a track, a video for it. They did for Picasso Baby because, you know, fuck you. But anyway, so I love the funky. It has this kind of funky, bouncy beat to it. It's very kind of blaxploitation-ish. But, you know, at the same time, Jay-Z's being serious here because he's talking about being aware of your surroundings, being aware of those around you, especially when you're rich. So, like in the second track, for example, he mentions Prince and his former attorney who, like, threatened to sue Tidal a couple months back, earlier this year. So he says, I sat down with Prince eye to eye. He told me his wishes before he died. Now, Londell McMillan, he must be colorblind. They only see green from them purple eyes, you know? So just that kind of reference there, you know, with just legal stuff with them wanting to own the music and him saying, no, you can't own the music and all that kind of shit.
I understand the estate is notorious with the music. Not as bad as others, but, you know, still pretty bad.
I really dug this track, and of course Frank Ocean brings a great chorus. All I like about his lyricism here is that he would throw like these it's not like straightforward stuff that he would say. You really have to dig in deep to really catch what he's saying. It's not too abstract, but it's kind of bordering on abstract. But that's how with Frank Ocean and his music. I love that. I love that he could be that thoughtful in something as simple as a chorus. Look at the chorus for Waves,
Yeah.
Like you have to really dig in deep and just pick out all the nuggets that he's seeing there, and it's very abstract there, Now we get to the title track here, track 5, 444.
Right.
And I know those rap conspiracy theorists boy must be like, 444, that's what he's called his album. If he had his way, he could have called it 666, you in?
Yeah.
But no, idiots. No. This is not about that. What really, the inspiration behind it is that literally while G was recording the album, he got up at 4:44 in the morning and wrote this particular track. And this one is another one that a lot of people are going to be citing throughout, making references to when it comes to this album here, because, this is the most personal track on this album here.
Right.
Here's where he kind of confesses to Beyonce, I apologize for how bad I treat you. I apologize for cheating on you.
Right.
There's the whole idea of cheating on you and just the shit that we went through, Like, I have never heard Jay-Z this personal on any track before. I mean, there were moments where he talked about his dad and his mom and all that kind of stuff, but I never heard him really go this in depth about, something that deep, that personal. And, I love how the instrumental complements that, because you hear these loud female vocals, right? And it's almost like it's kind of expressing how he's feeling internally. Like he just wants to like shout and cry now. But because he's a man, he has to kind of hold back those tears now. Mm-hmm. But even when you're listening to him rap here, and what I like here is that it sounds more stream of conscious wise. It's kind of like just the sparseness that I was kind of criticizing with the story of OG. I felt it works here personally because it's kind of like, he's just remembering things, and it just kind of comes off like he's just the things that just on his mind at the moment just keep coming out now.
Yeah.
That's hence stream of consciousness, and I thought that it works perfectly here. And what else here? So here, as I was saying before, you could literally hear him breaking down, like not to tears now, but just like, shit, boy, I just can't believe this. I can't believe I did this, And of course, he is talking about the whole infidelity stuff that like I said, Beyonce based part of her album Lemonade on,
Right.
And I remember like when the album came out and that speculation came out, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She?
And you thought it was
Beyonce? Nah, man. Nah. Yeah. And then when I really listened to the album and then hearing this track, I was like, well, this actually really did happen,
Right.
And he also mentions his daughter Blue Ivy, and like how this is gonna affect her.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reality. How are you gonna tell her about this and all that kind of stuff? It was really a heartbreaking moment on the album. But this is one that is really gonna stick with you long after you finish listening to this. This was a powerful track for me. Now we get to track 6, which is called Family Feud.
Right, I like the track.
And the subject of Beyonce.
Yeah.
She shows up here. She provides some nice little gospel vocals in the background here. Yeah. I wish she could have done a little bit more vocal wise, but she just there in the back just doing vocals, and that's okay. Once again, No ID does some distortion and some chopping up of the vocals here or there. And here, this is where we'll get to the whole Joe Budden thing now. Here's where Jay is just talking about the whole separation, the whole hip-hop culture and, in the community. Mm-hmm. So old rappers, this is new rappers and vice versa. And beefs just starting out of nowhere, like, with Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj over some bullshit, and he's just talking about that in a way. And I really dug this track. I really dug the social commentary in it. Yeah. I really dug the gospel infused instrumental in the background as well, and including including Beyonce's contribution here. So yeah, overall this was a fairly decent track.
I like the track as well.
Yeah. And now we get to my favorite track, Bam featuring Demon Marley. This is like the more this to me, like if it could pick like a true single, like a radio friendly single here, this would be it.
Yeah.
So here, similar to like what Nas did with Distant Relatives, which was one of my favorite albums of 2010. Yeah. So for the first time ever, Jay-Z collaborates with Damian Jr. Gong Marley, and the result is excellent. I really love this track here. And yes, as the title suggests, this track references the timeless Soundclash worthy Sister Nancy song What a Bam Bam.
Yeah.
Still one of the best dancehall songs ever recorded. But what I like here is that, when you're thinking about that song, It reminds me of like what Kanye did last year with Famous. You know, I made this bitch famous, that song. Yeah. So in the end where he does that, what a bam 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 bam, mean I'm near in the end where Swiss Beats was like, do some ad-libs? Okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Kind of awkward. But here what I really love though is that he takes particular vocal snippets from that song itself and splices them through the track itself. But you know, it's not, you know, it's easy to just take the chorus because it's the chorus, right? But he just takes other parts from it and does so much more with it. And I thought that was like a nice creative choice there. I loved how Damian sounded on this though. You know, it was just that kind of braggadocious stuff that you would expect from him, that kind of thing, you know. And Jay, like I said, this is the moment where he kind of brings up that ego a little bit because he's having fun, so I can let that slide. And both of them just sound excellent over this track. And the subject, I don't know, some people might get turned off by it a little bit because, you know, rappers nowadays, especially like Drake, trying to bring in this whole dancehall flavor thing now to all their songs now, you know what I mean? Like Controller, and of course that one track, I forgot the name of it, off of Waves, where he had Beanie Man on it, and Beanie Man is in the fucking outro. It's like, yeah, this is Beanie Man with my boy Drake, and like, I remember Mr. Vegas being pissed off by it, and he was like calling out Drake, and they're like, oh, you could have a dancehall track and you have a man like Beanie Man in your corner and you just have him in the outro talk. Like, dude, come on, man, don't do that. But here what I like is that, you know, you have this dancehall reggae artist here and he is in this track, you know, in the chorus and in the third track really, but he, you know, his presence is felt there. It's not like in the background or anything like that, you know. But overall, Bam is one of my favorite tracks. I love the beat in this. You know, it just had my head just bouncing. I really, really dug this track. And now for track number 8. And like when I saw the title for it and then when I got the concept of it, I was like, I love this concept right off the bat. Moonlight.
Yes.
And as the title suggests, yes, this makes an incredibly clever reference to Moonlight, and not just Moonlight, but the whole controversy thing with La La Land winning. So like in the chorus, he says, "We stuck in La La Land. Even when we win, we gon' lose." You don't get any better than that, right? And what I like here is that he's using both movies to just talk about the rap game right now. So you have the fantasy rappers.
I think Barry Jenkins did a retweet of this in a...
A24 actually tweeted the cover, screenshot of Genius's page for this particular track here. I was like, what? Okay, boy. A24, boy, this is the year for real, boy. But what I like about this, if you're digging deep, it's like the fantasy versus reality aspect. So you have the fantasy or the fake rappers versus the real rappers. So fake is La La Land, so it's all about fantasy now. So you have the rappers who are talking about they have guns and stuff, but you know, they don't have guns, right? And then you have the real rappers, the Moonlight rappers, who just not afraid to say what's on their mind because it's real, you know? And of course, you know, when you think about it, La La Land being this whole musical and this showing off the fantasy of musicals, and then you have Moonlight being this dark reality of just being this black gay kid in the States. You know, just that comparison there now. I like this particular line where he says, glorified seat filler, huh? Stop walking around like you all made Thriller, huh? Fake Dracos as in Russian guns, all in the videos. We shoot them in my city though. So almost like we shoot guns and we shoot those same fake rappers basically. I like that. Great track overall. All that fine it was a little bit short. It just kind of ends just, not abruptly, but it just kind of wraps up kind of quickly. I felt he could have just added like one more verse to it. I would have really made it work, but it just ends. I was like, all right. So we have 2 more tracks. We have Marcy Me. Basically, this is like this really nice nostalgic look at, you know, his past, you know, his hometown of Marcy Projects, you know, the birthplace of Jay-Z. And I like where he reflects, you know, he's just doing reflection basically. So he's talking about his role models, Big Papa, Big Daddy Kane. He talks about his drug dealing days a bit. He talks about the black celebrities at the time. He talks about from Tishina Arnold from Martin to Lisa Bonet and Dennis Rodman and Isaiah Thomas, you know. I really like the part where he says, hold up Uzi Vertigo, let that thing smoke. I was like, get it? Get it? Little Uzi Vert. I was like, jeez, I wish I could have come with a line like that. I mean, come on, you know. I love the piano assisted instrumental for this. It was really nice, really pleasant. And the Dream, remember him? He does the end, he does the outro here. He does this nice little piece at the end, really nice. And I thought this was a really nice track here. And we end things off with Legacy.
Right.
So after we hear Blue Ivy Carter herself say, Daddy, what's a will? So G just raps about, he wants to leave. It's just him like kind of leaving his legacy behind us. So Rock Nation goes to her and, the twins, I guess. And he just talks about, he's leaving all these finances to them, and then he's talk about how hard it was for him growing up. His mother having to take care of him, seeing that the father left. And then we pick up on something that I never really knew, that, his dad apparently was a preacher, and because he was kind of backsliding at times, that's where he, that caused this little rift with him in terms of religion, him accepting religion, especially Christianity, Like, how could you serve God, but then at the same time, go and cheat on your wife and all them kind of things. And he talks about how that affected him in the long run, where he just didn't really care about religion. But as he got older and wiser and more mature, he embraced different aspects of religion. So yes, including Christianity, he read about Buddhism and Islam and stuff like that. I thought that was a really nice moment here where as he gets older, he's willing to change, and that kind of thing. I really like that. But in the end, he basically tells Blue Ivy that yes, life will inevitably be hard, even though you might be financially secure. But at the end of the day, stay strong, keep moving forward. And I really love the jazzy instrumental here. It's really smooth, it's really gentle, really nice. And you hear this little vocal sample from Dudley Hathaway that ends off the track here. I thought this was like a really, surprisingly by Jay-Z standards, a really affectionate, a really sweet and gentle way to end the album. I was like, geez, but this is actually really nice though, So overall, I really dug 444. This is clearly his most personal and most introspective album. He doesn't go to epic heights as his wife did with Lemonade. But then again, I get where he's coming from. It's really stripped back. It's not full of the glamour and glitz of like his previous albums, and it's not like about I could buy artwork now and you could see me in an art gallery like what Magnum Carta was, which was an album, by the way, which had its moments, but ultimately I just really care for. I just kind of forgot about it. I get that you talk about I'm a family man now, so I have to change now, and that pretty much was what that album was about. But here's like, yes, I am a family man here now, and yeah, this is me. I've changed now. I'm different. So this is who I am. Take it or leave it. So in closing, while I wouldn't say it's one of the best Jeezy albums out there, I would say it is one of his best in a good while. I'm saying like in terms of 2000s, 2010s actually.
It's my favorite probably since the Black Album.
I would say that too. Well, I would say my last favorite was like American Gangster. And then from there was like Watch the Throne and
American Gangster
Blueprint Tree and thing. I didn't really care for those.
It was alright, but when you had a couple tracks on it.
Oh, well, I like the concept of it. It was a concept album. But, Blueprint Tree was just all commercialized. And then, Watch the Throne, I like the bouncing back and forth with him and Kanye. But there were a couple of mediocre the mediocrity in it kind of brought it down. And then, of course, you had Magna Carta, which was like,
Was the one with Beach here? What's the name of the album?
That was Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come, yeah.
That was the one I didn't really care about. That was the comeback album. The true comeback album. But I do agree with you. It's one of his best albums in years, though. I do see this being in my top 10 list. I'm not sure if it'll be a top 5, probably, who knows, might be top 4, but we'll see. I will be giving this one some more listens, and it's easy now because it's 36 minutes long, so I don't, I can listen to this easy on my way down to work, to and from, whatever. But yeah, and I would say production-wise, No ID's production is really good. What I like is that it does not it's not overpowering Jeezy's lyrics at all. It's just Jeezy in the forefront, and the music is in the back literally supporting, but it's not like trying to drown him out or trying to be over the top or whatever it is. So it's not commercialized music you're gonna hear here. It's more soulful, it's more jazzy, and I think it works in this retrospective mode that Jay-Z is in here. single-wise, we have the story of Okja, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess if I could pick one single out of this, it'll be Bam. I think a lot of people should hear this one. I think more people will gravitate to the album if it comes out on radio. But if it doesn't come out on radio, well, so be it.
Yeah.
But overall, I have to give this one a lighter, decent 4 to 5 stars, man. This was a solid album. I like how concise it was. It stuck to the point. It didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't have a lot of padding and a lot of filler tracks. More life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was what it was. It stuck to its point. And I don't know if this is gonna be the end, like this is gonna be the last album we're gonna get from Jay-Z. I doubt it, because you have Tidal now, so you had to be putting out shit. You had to be putting out. That's your work, you know what I mean? And I don't know what we're gonna get going forward, if it's gonna be a little bit more up a little bit more happier, a little bit less depressing or whatever. I don't know if you're gonna get that Blueprint 3 Jay-Z, or even the Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z again. Well, I think that era is
pretty much
gone. Yeah. But this new chapter in his life and hearing it here is really refreshing, really amazing.
Sure.
So if you're a Jay-Z fan, by all means check it out. If you're not the biggest fan, I still say give it a look. You will appreciate the introspection in some way, shape, or form. If you don't care for Jay-Z at all, then skip this one. Stick to your Drakes and your Uzi Verts and whatever. That's for you. But yeah, lighter, decent 4. I do see this one being in my top 10 list. So by all means, give this one a listen.
Right.
All right. So while I catch my breath here for a bit, we could jump into Netflix stuff. So feel free to tell me about Okja, and then I will jump into Glow, and then we'll finish things up with Baby Driver.
I walk into this movie blind. I went to this blind. I just turned it on. See, all right, let's see what it's about. Because I saw with us, Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, hey, he in this.
Until the Swinton, I was like, what? See this?
Like, what? Okay.
I was expecting like a full South Korean cast.
No. It starts really creepy. This really big corporate build. This basically is a corporate something like a press conference,
right?
Saying a plan to deal with food.
Okay.
Say, well, how is to deal with food in the future? How are they going to deal with food in the future? Apparently, they found this corporation, but the total system runs. She basically took over from her grandfather,
right?
And she was kind of co-running it. She took over from her grandfather and her twin sister. The twin sister's running it, and they didn't like the twin sister. So she's the more friendly, nice version of the twin sister. And they basically found something akin to basically what they call a super pig. What's a super pig? It's just an animal. And they say, okay, they're going to figure out this brilliant genetic animal to make.
I was about to ask if it was genetically designed.
Well, no, it's unclear. I couldn't follow from the movie exactly how it came about in first, but basically it's like a mutant pig essentially.
All right.
And then they took it and they take it, manipulate it to find it and thing, and then they spread them across the planet. So about 24 of them, I think. And they say, okay, the best breeder making this, we're gonna create it for meat. So the idea is that it's the ultimate meat animal.
Alright, so no more chicken, turkey, all that.
Well, that's the thing. It's replacing, because what happens is that because the idea is to have this animal in such a way where it's supposed to solve all the meat problems. Because one of the big things with the meat industry is even if you don't give a shit about meat or what's happened to people,
I give a shit about meat.
Well, I mean, if you don't care about the animal.
Yeah.
Let's say you don't care about the animal for whatever reason. One of the big arguments against the meat industry, just as a practice, is just how wasteful it is, how expensive it is, it's largely subsidized, and how destructive it is to the environment. Right, most notably to the soil. So you get that sense of, they need to solve food problems via this thing.
Right.
And they say, all right, they have this project, right, and you're going to put it out to all these animals. They have versions of them all over the planet, so about 24 of them. It's 24, I think, or 26, and all of them is to breed them, and the project is going to take 10 years.
Right.
Roughly 10 years, the animal, well, the thing I think it's take 10 years for the animal to grow up, but basically it's 10 years to breed it, to get a sense of which one is the best one.
Right.
It's basically a big longitudinal study they set up. And boy, oh boy, this movie goddamn sad. Yeah. So basically this main character, Miha, she has been a take-hitter and constant companion to the super pig in South Korea, got sent to South Korea, called Okja.
Alright. Does Okja have a meaning?
I have to look it up because again I just watched this last night.
Okay.
More than likely probably some Korean joke. Or it probably have some Korean meaning or hidden reference somewhere.
All right.
I don't know. I was just looking into the story as it is, and basically it's just her family in the mountains. You know, I remember Totoro, not famous.
Yes, my neighbor Totoro.
Right, my friend Totoro, I think.
Probably one of the best Hayao Miyazaki films here.
It has a lot of that feeling to it, where it is cute animals and they have to big animals and it's friend with the animal thing.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is that this corporation, come back for the property. Say, hey, look, your version of the animal is the best one. Is the one that's chosen, and this fella, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, he's this famous, like a zoologist, more or less.
Right.
His character, he's the one who comes to sort it out, and they have to basically carry it back. And basically, they go out, but then animal rights activist group, something akin to the ELF. I think it is the ELF, I think.
Right.
The Animal Liberation Front, which is like a much more violent and disturbing version of PETA, if that's possible. That is your boy from what's that boy named from Sesame Man, Paul Dano.
Right, Paul Dano. Okay.
Yeah, Paul Dano, and then your boy from Walking Dead, wasn't it? Stephen Yeun.
Oh.
Who get
okay.
who get bat in the head. So you know what you went to do.
Yes.
Who get bat in the head.
You getting that Netflix money, boy?
yeah, but
right.
I call him, oh gosh, from Walking Dead, so forget his name. You get bat in the head, I forget his name.
Glenn.
Yeah, so the basically they are part of the group, and their name is K and J, which is hilarious.
Wow.
Because I was thinking of Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black.
Yeah. And basically they had a whole trick, but the idea was they want to send the animal and then put a recording device in it to prove this company being so horrible to these animals.
Right.
And it's just a big. Here's the thing: the movie, so it goes back and forth, and then it really sad because they had because of the violence of the animal. The animal never had that level of violence happened to it because they force the animal to breed and all of these disgusting practices that go in the meat industry. It's a big anti-meat industry thing.
Right.
But at the same time, it doesn't really put its foot down on a message. It clearly shows how bad the meat industry is, but at the same time, it's the necessary evil kind of thing that a lot of people make the case for.
Yeah.
Because they'll say, well, veganism not sustainable or something like that, which is not entirely true. I would argue it's not culturally sustainable at all.
Right.
But veganism is totally, from a utilitarian standpoint, totally sustainable. But it's not culturally sustainable. You ain't getting people to not eat meat anytime soon, period.
Of course.
Right. But the movie does that, and then they get into the idea of the animal. Oh, by the way, your boy Giancarlo Esposito is in this.
What?
He's in the first. I was like, oh my god. When I see I started laugh one time because like, evil motherfuckers.
Gus Fring, come on.
Evil motherfuckers in this stick one time.
Chicken and chips joint from Breaking Bad. Owner, come on.
Yeah, when I see he and he in a suit and he looking creepy as hell as usual. Yeah. And the way they light him, I was like, oh, all right, they're evil.
Yes,
they're clearly
yes.
evil. The thing is, it doesn't. I thought it would have. Okay, but so by the way, the movie is very good. Jake Gyllenhaal character is terrible in this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he do that.
Terrible.
Yeah, because it's him having to, even though he's a scientist and whatever it is, he's not really that good guy. He just basically sell out, give the animal up more or less. Okay. I think that they try to free up whoever going on. I thought they would have the foot down more on a message, a clear message. But it tried to do this kind of weird balance kind of thing, in my opinion, and it felt weird.
Right.
It's like, no, this is not something you should be on the edge about.
Yeah.
This is something you had to have an opinion about.
Right.
You could say, look, you have an opinion, and this is what it is. Now, most people's opinion is, well, yeah, animal suffering, but I like meat anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Right.
That is the answer. Have no getting away from it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. If I could just stop you for a bit.
Sure.
The director, Bong Joon-ho. Yes, I'm looking at the wiki page right now.
Yeah.
Forgive me, because I actually like, his 3 films actually that I really, really love.
Yeah.
Memories of Murder, The Host, and Snowpiercer, which, believe it or not, I only saw once, but I loved it. I just need to watch it again.
I'm a big fan of Snowpiercer. Yeah.
Yeah. All of those always touch on some kind of social issue now, which was something that surprised me with The Host, because, when you look at the trailers, like, oh, well, it's just a monster film, and it's about this family being involved with it. But no, it have to do with, with environmental waste and all that kind of stuff now,
Right. No, but with this now, I think they get into the idea of you know, I thought the movie would have come. As I say, I thought the movie should have come down on a side. But really, the idea is just as opposed to that you're getting caught up in the middle of these conflicts.
Right.
And who getting caught up. So to the point where they're willing to sacrifice the animal for the sake of just making this company, this corporation look bad. Because they need to record the data. And like, I get it, that's just utilitarian ethics. But at the same time, yes, utilitarian ethics, that's the problem. You don't you don't need to sacrifice animals for that purpose. You could have do this on your own. And so, but it gets into the extremism of things now.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole aspect of it. I didn't hate this movie.
Right.
In fact, it's really well done. It's really funny.
But is it like, because I'm thinking about the girl and the pig, so does it have like these heartwarming moments, those kind of
it has
moments? Yeah.
It have those. Because the whole thing is that when you see her on the street, it get viral now. Because the whole thing is largely, because so much time passed, you forget, you know, the implications of this thing now.
Yeah.
You forget the implications of the whole idea of what's going on. And they had the time pass. I didn't stay for the post-credit scene. I didn't have time for it. But from what I understand, they come back. The people get the ALF. Well, the whole thing it play out where the ALF people get arrested.
Right.
Because of the extremist actions and the behavior, and they wanted to embarrass them in the company. Yeah. That's the hilt of the movie. Mm-hmm. And then basically, they reach a point where the ALF kind of sell out at the end. Okay. That's the post-credit scenes. I didn't know that.
All right.
I just saw the end of the movie where they leave with the animal for breeding, for breeding purposes. They had a piglet at the end.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
And it was, the piglet relatively innocent, even though Okja goes through all this trauma throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That's it. Do I really love this movie? Not love it. Like it. Really well done. I will give it, if it's a rating, it's on Netflix, so go see it there. But if it's to give the rating, if you were to see it in theaters, I thought it should have come out in theaters.
I was on it. I thought it was going to come out in theaters, seeing the director on board now.
Right. But then again, I didn't see Snowpiercer in theaters either. I saw that a year after it came out.
Me too, actually.
Yeah. I thought it would have been screenings or something like it. Most likely it'll probably come out this year in Trinidad Film Festival. I would not be surprised if it shows up.
Probably might show it for kids because they have a pig.
Yeah, well, trauma. Nah, you don't know trauma.
I know.
Some gross moments in this. Yeah?
I can imagine.
And they do well. The CG is not bad, but it's still kind of crappy. But it's gross enough for you to be grossed out by what goes on, especially when you see the cute pig animal get all these shitty things happen to it. I'll say I'll give this a high movie tongue if anything.
Okay.
I'll give it a movie tongue. Movie tongue, not a movie tongue. Movie tongue. A solid movie tongue. It's well done. Jake Gyllenhaal is good in this as usual. Jill Swinton was okay in this. Right? She was in Snowpiercer again, right?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, so she shows up again in another one of this guy's movies. It's a short review. Here's the thing with this. It's really to scare. I think they want to implicitly come down on the side of veganism by just scaring children. Say, hey, they show this to children.
Yeah, meat is bad. Veggies are good.
Yeah. They'll never if you want to get children, you just actually see an animal kill and you'll make that choice. Whether or not you'll choose one way or the other. But if you want to detach from the process, then you can't really make a choice. That is kind of the general moral argument. And that's the moral argument I have. Right. My thing is that if you're familiar with what's going on and you still make the choice to eat meat, I kind of understand that. Yeah. But you see these people who don't want to know how the sausage is made. I hate those people. Oh. That is my thing. But my attitude is to expose you to the meat thing as much as you can. And if you still make the choice, then fine.
Yeah, it reminds me like alcohol or cigarettes now, you know? Yeah. You don't want to know what it could do to your body, but you just like the taste. You're having fun.
Yeah. But the thing, I still still your choice. But the idea of animal thing, and if you care about the animal, spend time with a
human life, yeah.
Spend time.
Sorry, what? Say a human life. Sorry,
human life. I would never put on that same moral weight, but at the same time, it deserves moral weight. Yeah, that is my opinion. Chickens a little lower, but pigs real damn close to us. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Pigs really close to us in anyways. In fact, pigs so close to us that they could use them in operations and surgeries and medicine. That is how close they are to us. Yeah. Chickens don't have that. Chickens are even close. Whatever. The thing with it though is that my attitude is spend time with a pig for 3 months, raise it, then see if you can kill it and have it for dinner. See if you can do that. That is my quest. Some people steal the eye to do it. Most people, I'm sure I know a lot of people who steal the eye enough to do it. But the thing is, most people aren't. A lot of people aren't, in my opinion.
Right.
So whatever. That's it.
Okay.
With 2 cents on that. However, it has a weird edit though. That's my only issue with this. which is strange. I give him a rating already.
Right, weird edit.
Yeah, I'll say it doesn't have a very good, but that's probably to do with the material. It doesn't have a very good overtonal edit overall. That is my last little critique, and I think that's what bump it down from high movie tongue to movie tongue.
Okay, that's
and that's about it. Yeah, how long will this review was? Short?
Yeah, well, short enough.
Short enough, yeah.
Right.
Go see it, kids.
Yes, kids. Yeah. Bring your parents, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go see it, kids. If you want to maybe become a vegan, or at least have the option.
Yeah. All right. So we'll stick within Netflix for a little bit longer. So I will talk about season 1 of a show that I was excited for actually, called Glow. Glow essentially right. So Glow means gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Okay.
So what this show does, and yes, this is Netflix once again going back to the 80s. So yes, this is another 80s throwback TV show pretty much.
Right.
So I'll just jump into the story one time. Well, before I jump into the story, so it's this 10 episode series. Each episode is like about 35, 37 minutes tops really.
Okay.
It's essentially a comedy drama. It stars McGill Alison Brie, who I haven't seen since Yahoo did that 6th season, I think it was, of Community.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in anything, but you know, I was surprised to see her in this show here. So essentially, this story is set in LA. It's 1985, and Alison Brie, plays Ruth Wilder, whatever you want to call it, Wilder Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, right. So you just say Ruth Wilder. Okay. She's a struggling actress here. You know, she's trying to find that next gig. And, you know, because she has bills to pay and, you know, basically the place that she's staying at is shit. So she just needs money. She just needs money desperately, right? And she gets this invitation to go down to what she assumes is an audition for like a TV show.
Right.
And then lo and behold, she realizes it's actually for, it's actually a TV show, yes. But it's for, it's essentially a wrestling TV show.
Right.
Called Glow, which is the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. So basically the guy who's running the show, his name is Sam Sylvia. He's played by Mark Maron. He's one of my favorite characters in this show. He was just fucking hilarious in this, right?
Okay, yeah, no, he's a great comedian. Has probably one of the best podcasts out there.
Yeah, he is like this washed up, alcoholic, just don't give a shit type of producer guy. And, you know, he would confess and say, yeah, I slept with this person, I slept with this chick, however, I pretty much sleep with you, you know what I mean, the kind of thing. He would always bitch about how his wife left him and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of thing. But basically, so she goes into this audition and she's seen all these other ladies from, you know, different ethnicities. There's this one chick who is like part Cherokee. She's really buff, really biggish, well, really, you know, big now. There's this black girl who had a fling with Sam back in like the late 70s, and they were doing drugs and thing at the time. There's even this Indian girl in it as well. I could have swear I saw her in an episode of Master of None. I may be wrong, but I swear I saw her there. And you know, basically it's like there's ring there. It's like, well, yeah, this is wrestling, so you have to learn all the moves and all that kind of stuff. And the black girl, her name is Cherry Bang. Well, her wrestling moniker is Junk Chin. She's played by Sidel Noel. So she has to, well, because she's done stunt work before, she has to train the woman in how to fight and stuff.
Right.
And throughout the episodes, we see all the women learn, and you know, it more focuses on Ruth as well. But here's where the conflict takes place. So her best friend is this former soap opera actress. Her name is Debbie Egan. She's played by Betty Gilpin, great actress here. And it's established in season 1, slight spoiler here, where, she was cheating with Debbie's husband.
Okay.
You know? And Debbie, she's a mother now. She has this baby, baby daughter as well. And, you know, she's trying to deal with the fact that she has to take care of this baby while looking for a job, you know, because she used to be on this prime time soap opera. Well, not prime time, but she's been in the soap opera series, kind of like a Nuts Landing parody, if you will. Right. Like a wannabe Nuts Landing, right? And she got kicked out because of the pregnancy now, you know. She kind of left the show. So, she's also looking for a next gig now. And lo and behold, she finds out that, Ruth is cheating with my man. Right. So she comes into the audition, well, you know, not the audition actually. She comes onto the set, if you will, where she's learning moves, and she's like real customer, like, fuck you doing, blah, 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 blah. And comes into the onto the ring itself, and yeah, like beats the shit out of Rutner. And Sam is watching this thing going on, and it's like, well, yeah, this is my star here. So they bring in Debbie now, and the gimmick that she has is that she's the All-American Girl. So she's Liberty Bell now. So she is literally like a play on of course, the Hulk Hogan character, the All-American, be what you be, eat your vegetables, say your prayers, you know, don't do drugs, that kind of thing now. And I'll stop here at this moment. So right off the bat here, what I love about this show is that it really pokes fun at all these stereotypical aspects of like early wrestling, like early WWE stuff. Right. So like if you think about like Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik and those kind of characters, they make references to them. You know, like case in point, the Indian girl, they tell her, well, you know, what about the Iron Sheik? You know, you could be this evil Palestinian, this evil Lebanese terrorist chick now. You know, and if you think back like in the 80s, those action films, they were always centered on these Middle Eastern terrorists, right? Yeah. And all of them, you know, Missing Action, the Delta Force, all those Golden Globus canon films were always about Middle Eastern terrorists and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, Middle Eastern terrorists are bad and all that kind of stuff now. So she had to play the stereotype now. She doesn't want to do it, but, you know, that's a gimmick now. Now, Sam, his background is that he used to do these very schlocky B-movie, you know, films now. So it was like Disco of Death and those kind of things. And those kind of things. And his gimmick, his idea for the film, for the series, was that it had this narrative, this kind of post-apocalyptic narrative. If you're familiar with like these real B to Z movie films in the 80s that was just ripping off movies like, say, Beastmaster and Conan the Barbarian and Escape from New York, they always had either this kind of barbarian aspect or some kind of sci-fi post-apocalyptic thing there. So he wanted to play both cards now, basically. And, you know, you have these characters here who just like remnants of this future, and they have to fight as gladiators. And just an excuse to show hot chicks in the ring fight now. Yeah. So he had this narrative thing laid out flatly. He had a whole script written on everything. So he meets up with this producer guy, I forgot his name, this real rich guy, and you know, he have this trust fund with his mom. So basically he just blew in money left, right, and center because he could afford it, right? But he's like, you know, people don't tune into wrestling for stories, though. I mean, the viewers need to know why this character fighted that character. You need a little backstory here or there. That's cool and everything. But you don't need this full, long script about this future and all that kind of stuff. Men just want to see hot chicks fight, and that's the point. So it's like, all right, cool, I'll just play along with it. Let me try this thing out. Let me do a pilot episode. Let me see how this thing works out. And from there, I really love how they play on these stereotypes. So case in point, Jung-Chin, right? Because she's black, you have to play this thing that she's this tough, badass black girl. And there's this other girl, this other woman, clearly she's a housewife, she's real big and stuff. She's playing off the fact that she's like living off of welfare checks and all that kind of stuff now. So that's her gimmick. And everybody has a gimmick now. So Allison, she had a long while trying to find her right persona because she wants to be, you know, she wants to be known as an actress, right? She wants to be an actress first and foremost, right? She doesn't want to dumb herself down and be like this wannabe character now. So she eventually settles down on being Zoya the Destroyer, which is this Russian chick who hates America, and, you know, she will fight everything about America and all that kind of stuff. And that reminds me, currently with the WWE, with the women's division, all that kind of stuff, you have this chick by the name of Lana. Very, 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 very attractive looking girl. Right. But she's not Russian. But her gimmick is that she's Russian and she hates she hates America and all that kind of stuff. Which is funny because her boyfriend turned husband in real life, his name is Rusev. His gimmick is that he was a Russian. But then when, like, after the wedding, it was revealed that he's actually Ukrainian. So he had to change the gimmick up where he's like Ukrainian now, you know, but they still hate America, you know, it's all that kind of stuff now. And once again, like I say, it's playing off of that, you know, the whole WWE stuff where, you know, you always have to have these stereotypical characters and, you know, it's sexist and well like that now. And because they have different ethnicities, you know, it's even worse now. So case in point, the part Cherokee girl, she actually has a wrestling background. She's the sole character who has a history because her father and her two brothers actually were wrestlers, right? Yeah. So she now, because she has this kind of Spanish look to her, she has to play, you know, her character is basically Machu Picchu. So she is the big, tough,
Right.
fat-looking Spanish chick. That's a character. That's a gimmick. Right. And everybody else has a character as well. Because we in the 80s, we have to have the Valley Girl, so she's Melrose, you know. You have you have this Australian girl, but you have to play her off as being very smart. So her gimmick is Britannica. She is the hot kind of bookwormy kind of chick with the glasses and stuff, and she always has this book in her hand, and she's like the smartest girl in the world and all that kind of stuff now. And just seeing these things just brought a smile to my face. I was just watching, it's like, yes, this is what wrestling used to be, and this is what wrestling essentially is when you think about it, you know. Even right out like to WWE these days, like I always remember these two guys. This was around the time when homosexuality was starting to be big in media, right? So they had these two wrestlers who were kind of, I wouldn't call them metrosexual, but they were playing off like they were gay, but they weren't gay.
This so, is male wrestlers?
Two male wrestlers. Right. So the gimmick is that they were gay, but they weren't gay. You know, they were friends, they were bros, whatever, but they weren't really gay. And then one of them kind of called them out like, you know, you guys, why are you guys being so gay? It's like, you know, we're not gay, right? You know, that was the hook now, you know? As for acting, though, I thought the acting was solid throughout. Alison Brie really surprised me. This is like the first time I ever hear her throw F-bombs. So I was like, what? Okay, like she just being, you know, she's not the peppy character that we know from Community. She's way more different. She's more real. She's more relatable. Her come up though is so relatable as well too, because you do feel for her being in a shitty situation where, you know, she's wondering when where her next meal or where her next paycheck is coming from. That's a story that anybody can relate to, you know. And the other characters are well developed as well. Some of them kind of come off a little bit weird, but when you get to know them, you know, you do get to understand where they're coming from. Like there's one character, her gimmick, or at least she's like the emo character in it, and her thing is that she thinks she's a wolf, or like, you know, her spirit animal is a wolf now. Right. So. You know, she eats raw meat and all that kind of stuff. But when you get to learn about her, you know, it's like, you know, yeah, you know, you're kind of weird and stuff. But I kind of like you. I could, you know, hang out with you or whatever. You know what I mean? Mark Maron to me steals the show because he is just so narcissistic. But at the same time, you're just laughing at how narcissistic he is. You know, he's that type of person that he would just talk about just the shit that he done in the past now. And you think because he did so much shit he can't change. But he does try, and I would just use that term loosely. He really does try throughout the series to really better himself. But at the same time, he fucks up, he does a lot of shit here or there. Yeah. And you know, it's easy to hate him now, but because of how he's played, I just couldn't help but laugh at him. Once again, like I say, you know, with Netflix, this is like another show that, you know, this is another 80s throwback. So once again, like right down to the intro to the show and right down to the musical choices, which by the way are freaking fantastic. I love the musical choices here. Just think of like the best 80s songs you could think of, and they're there. This is, oh yes, right. So I was saying this. Once again, visually, from a visual aesthetic, really is a throwback to like those 80s TV shows as well. Right down to the title card and everything is so retro. I really love that. But back to that soundtrack though. This is like the second show I've seen. The first one being Donnie Darko, where they use Tears for Fears, Head Over Heels, which is one of my favorite songs from that group. Right. This is like another song which proves to me that yes, this is like the perfect song to use when you're doing like a slow-mo 80s inspired shot. Like when you're introducing a character and you have that song playing in the background, it works perfectly. And they do that with a particular character. I'm not going to say who that character is, but when you see that character and that song plays, it's like, yes, this is why I love that song so much. What else? Pacing I thought was pretty good. There are a few scenes and stuff where I felt the pacing was a little bit off. In terms of just building characters and just building the story, I felt it was a little slow at points in time. It was generally funny, but like near the end is where you get your dark moments, your gut punches as well. But I like in the end where it kind of picks back up and it reminds you of what the story is about. You know, it's about women doing this wrestling thing and just embracing their stereotypes, embracing their gimmicks, and just having fun, you know what I mean? And it ends on this kind of fun, you know, this kind of lighthearted. You know, the overall series itself is lighthearted. There are a few dark moments, like just dark humor here or there, but it's essentially just this light, fun series that you'll have a blast with. One thing though, I felt that the ending itself, there's this kind of end credit scene.
Right.
I felt it didn't quite work because it's kind of like just, okay, well, this is like the morning after. Let's see what happened after they did this one recording.
Right.
And I personally thought that it was going to lead up to something, but it just kind of just ends. I was like, well, what was the point of that? Like, I know you needed a way to kind of close things off, but I felt they could have done it a little bit better. It's just like, I won't say it was uninspired, but it was just like, expected a better ending though.
Right.
Once again, like I say, Alison Brie was great in this. Mark Maron, the other characters as well, I thought were great. The musical choices were fantastic. Something else I was going to mention. Oh yes, the song choices that they used for this though. This is one show that reminds me again, just like if you think about music now, like pop music at the time, right? And how they were used in movies, right? Like case in point, they make references to Rocky III and Karate Kid. But you know, those movies that kind of inspire you to go out and hit the gym and, you know, that kind of thing. They play off of that as well. One song that caught me completely off guard, right? I forgot the name of the group. The name of the song, I believe, is Dare, right? And it's this song that, the first time I heard it, it was from freaking Transformers, the movie. They played that like about 2-3 times in that movie, right? And it's like the most retro 80s pop rock song you'll ever hear in your life, right? And, you know, like, when I was hearing that, it reminded me of, like, how those songs work, you know, in movies and, you know, just in general with how people were growing up and things. Right. You know, it's like those inspirational songs, like, you know, you gotta work harder, you gotta fight to survive, and those kind of songs, you know what I mean? And you get a lot of those songs here in this series here. Oh yes, and one thing, last thing I'll say before I get to rating though. I was surprised that Alison Brie was willing to get physical in this though. Yeah, she was throwing down. Yeah,
she's a small girl. Yeah.
She's a small girl though, you know what I mean? Like she's, you know, I wouldn't say she's puny, but she's small. But I see her doing like legit wrestling moves now, like, you know, the typical stuff that you would see in any wrestling show. That you know, any wrestling show, the typical moves now. And I was so surprised that she was doing all these things now. I was like, what? Okay. Alison Brie was willing to get down and dirty here and, you know, just be physical now. And I thought that, like, I imagined it being challenging to her because of her size and, you know, just the acting choices that she's done, sorry. But here, yeah, boy, I have to give credit where credit is due, boy. She went out of her way to really deliver that performance, and I thought it was excellent. While I wouldn't say it's one of the best, I wouldn't say it's the best show you'll see. Yeah. It is certainly one of the most. We will certainly have fun with this one. It's hard pressed for anybody to go into this thing and be depressed by it. I mean, even though they do touch on, you know, racism and sexism and stuff like that, right. But it's still fun. It's still the way how they make fun of, like, you know, it plays homage to the 80s, of course, but it kind of makes fun of how the 80s was in terms of television, in terms of, you know, acting gigs, and of course with wrestling, you know. Because you can look back at old WWE matches, you know, like Andre Giant and stuff.
Teddy Bias.
Yeah, and just be like, well, this is real cheesy and dumb now, but that was what it was, you know.
Pre-Undertaker stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And, you know, the fact that you're still seeing this thing today, you know, it's not sad actually. It's kind of amazing, kind of silly as well. Yeah. And it really pokes fun at the silliness of wrestling, but what really makes wrestling so much fun and why people love it so much, you know? Yeah. So overall, I would give this a light 4 to 5 stars. I honestly wanted to like this a little bit more because I felt that the pacing was off in some parts. It was funny at some points. It was dramatic, not too dramatic. And, you know, I felt that balance-wise, it was a little off balance at times, but overall, I still had fun with this one. I recommend that, you know, if you're looking for some fun to check out, then yeah, you'll have a blast with Glow. Yeah. All right, so we are finally gonna close things off with a show that both of us were hyped for, you're excited for, just off the director's name alone and just off the trailers, Baby Driver. Yeah. Yeah. So before, well, I'll let you just fill us in on plot. But Edgar Wright, though, has it been a movie that he put out that kind of generally sucked? I don't think so. All of his movies kind of generally were really
out of the
great.
Cornetto trilogy, I'll say I like Wolves and the Least.
I would say that too. I was a little bit let down by it. I felt it could have done more with the premise.
I'm not the biggest fan of Shaun of the Dead, but I like Shaun of the Dead, and I absolutely love Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz, what it did in deconstructing action films, excellent. So that's well easily my favorite.
Yeah.
Although, all right, I'll wrestle between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, but I have to admit, Hot Fuzz, what it did was fantastic. Yeah. Shaun of the Dead, just the concept of what it was willing to do with taking that romantic comedy genre that was kind of getting stale, and the zombie genre that was now starting to get legs with, of course, with 20 Days Later. And it just mixed it.
To me, the zombie genre is literally a zombie genre. It could get stale, but at the same time, it's like, no, it's keep going on indefinitely.
Yeah, but I would say that it picked back up with 20 Days Later and Dawn of the Dead remake. But what it did here with Shaun of the Dead was pretty interesting, bringing back the comedy element of it. Because one thing about Edgar Wright, his favorite movie, yes, believe it or not, is An American Werewolf in London from John Landis, which was a mixture of horror and comedy. And that kind of thing, followed through with that and Hot Fuzz, where yes, you would have comedy, but then he would punctuate it with these moments of like shocking, bloody violence, you know. And he also did it with the Wolves as well. I forgot that. But it's when he did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I would regard as a true cult classic, in my opinion. One of the best cult movies ever, in my opinion.
And how to do a video game movie.
How to do a video game movie, how to do a comic book movie as well and stay true to it. And I wish that we could have seen, like, if we just dreamt it, like Edgar Wright's Ant-Man, like just imagine how that would have turned out, But for what it's worth, I mean, Edgar Wright has done some great movies. Like it's hard pressed to really think of anything that he's done that I could say, it kind of sucked. I didn't really care for it, whatever. But everything to me that he's done has been excellent.
Yeah.
And I would just say this one time before we get to your plot synopsis of it. Yes, I could add Baby Driver to this. This is yet another solid effort from Edgar Wright. This shows once again why he is one of the best, not just British directors, but just directors in general in the game right now, and just what he does into just picking a favorite genre of his and just making it so fresh and inventive and new. He is literally he is doing like what Quentin Tarantino did, and I'll talk about Quentin Tarantino in a bit, with reference to this film here. But you want to jump into what the plot is?
Yes. So Baby Driver, which is almost Edgar Wright's take on Drive.
Yes.
A little bit,
right?
Easy, very difficult to not compare them.
Yeah.
I'll say, so the plot is this kid named Baby. Well, you'll learn what his real name is later, but his name is Baby, and he is a kind of a prodigy in driving.
Yes.
So he gets a job and a career.
He's like the best driver in Atlanta, swear to God. Yeah.
And you get his career of him being a really great getaway driver for criminal behavior, criminal mastermind played by Kevin Spacey, and you learn why Kevin Spacey has him as a driver.
Yes.
They never really show it, but they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he kind of owes him a debt.
Yes.
And he's a bit of a genius, almost like a borderline savant at the matter, which is slightly brought up for 2 seconds.
Right.
And basically it's him paying off his debt, and then the idea of him continuing in his life of crime and how to deal with that. And he has an old man taking care of him, and he taking care of him.
Well, foster dad.
Foster dad, right? And then
who is deaf, by the way.
Deaf.
I thought that made for some great moments.
Which is related to what happened to him because he's suffering from tinnitus.
Yes. And that's due to accident that he suffered when he was young.
Yeah.
So he hears his hum.
Right. And then he have a girl that he loved.
Yes.
And he had a protector. That's it. Crime stuff. And then crime shenanigans and crazy cast of characters that comes in and out of the film. One of the people I thought should have come back, but he didn't come back. But that's it. That's your plot. And then you have to deal with crime shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
Well, as you mentioned...
Boilerplate script.
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, characters that should have come back.
There's only one character who should have come back and didn't come back.
Yeah, that would be my one of the couple of negatives I have with it.
Right.
I believe you're referring to John Bernthal, right?
John Bernthal.
As Griff.
Shane Man.
Yeah, Shane Man.
Yeah.
I was like...
I told you
because one thing I really loved about this show here is that... you know,
like comedy bad first.
Yeah, very comedy bad, right? So yeah, with his character, because of how well developed these characters are, and from the intro, right, he is involved in the intro, right, and a little bit afterwards. But I felt that his character should have come back,
right?
But instead, we give the kind of primary villainous duties to John Hamm, who I thought was excellent.
Right.
Although I was looking at him like, he looking like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Right, I was thinking,
that haircut, stubble is like, I just looking and I see seeing Negan here. I
was thinking of that as well. It's like they almost did that intentionally.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's because they didn't want two quote-unquote walking dead-looking characters, so let me just kick out one.
I wanted to know how old this script is, but it feels like a script that could have come out 10 years ago.
All right, well, what I'm reading up here is that he came up with the idea, Edgar Wright, who wrote and directed this script, this film, sorry. Came up with it in 94.
Right, actually. It feels a little dated, like it feels like a dusted off script a little bit. Yeah. It's very boilerplate. They didn't have a big twist or anything, but it's...
Yeah, like if he was like now starting off, this would be...
Right, it really feels like an intro
it's a good thing that you bring up that, because to me, as I mentioned, Quentin Tarantino, this film really reminds me a lot like Reservoir Dogs.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, well, just for a couple of things. First off, the fact that we don't see the robberies that take place indoors.
That's
it's always from external perspective. Always like afterwards. You don't see the crime taking place. And of course, these group of bad guys meet up together and the banter between them, you know. And of course, the musical references, which we'll talk about later.
It really felt dated. It felt, but here's the thing, because
that's another criticism.
Because I get a feeling that he updated it, but he didn't update it to update it a second time. So he wanted to make it. You want to make it again because they make a big deal about iPods.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, it makes sense in the story. No, it's not like it don't make any sense, but it really is hyped up. So you can totally tell, like if he did this 10 years ago, it would have been a Walkman.
Yeah.
Or one of them, a Walkman mixtape, something, a Sony Walkman or something. So they update it, but they make, you know, he balances it off really, but it really feels like a dusted off script.
Yeah.
Second thing, some of the little character changes didn't make some sense coming down to the end.
I would agree too, especially with the character of
Kevin Spacey.
Of Deborah, played by Lily James.
Well, I didn't really have an issue with that here or there. She was in for the ride, whatever. But
yeah, but I felt they could have done a little bit more with her decisions surrounding Baby.
Right. No,
but really the major one, as I said, is with Kevin Spacey. Because lo and behold, he makes this huge character, change. I wouldn't say what it is. It's like,
that cannot come out of nowhere.
Like I know it's the third act we had to wrap things up, but you just kind of like switch. You just flip a switch there. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I thought they would have sorted it out different, and it's like, wait, I thought they would have stayed loyal to the.
And like they kind of show like they kind of
one thing I'll say with no, the whole movie does this high wire act very well of being in this fantasy world, because the movie's a lot sillier than I expected.
Yes.
But it
works.
It works. But the one character I'll say he's kind of the weakest in the film is Jamie Foxx.
Oh, you find so? Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because now I thought he was good acting, but here's the problem: you couldn't buy that he was part of this world.
Oh, I see.
Because he was trying to be a kind of real gangster, but being a silly gangster at the same time.
Right.
Like with John Hamm, you got the sense of him being silly gangster right through.
Yeah.
Even after what happens to him.
Yeah.
He's still silly. With Jerry Fox, he's trying to be, you get feeling that, wait, he's a real gangster trying to be in the real world, but because the whole thing is not the real world,
right?
It does that, you know. If you remember the movie Babyface, I'm trying to think. What was the movie with Johnny Depp?
Oh gosh.
Crybaby,
I
think it is.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Right.
I've always heard of it.
It feels like that movie.
Okay.
It feels like a modern take on that as well. It's a mix between that and
that 50s throwback.
Right. It has a feel to that same tone. Tone. I mean, obviously it's modern, but it's the same kind of old tone of this weird universe, that parallel universe that they're living in. Yeah. It really feels like a movie set. Kind
of Lynchian in a sense, like Twin Peaks.
But it really feels like a movie set. It's like and that worked for the most part. But Jamie Foxx felt like a real person coming into this world almost.
Right.
And they couldn't balance the act, so it kind of had a kind of tonal on Canny Valley kind of thing going on with him.
Right. I agree with you actually, because he's kind of playing the street man in a sense, because he's like, well,
everything is ridiculous except for me.
Like case in point, there's a scene where Kevin Spacey breaking down this plan to go into this bank, right? And Baby has his earphones on, right?
Right.
So when he's done, when Kevin stops now, Jamie's like, I have one question. Well, Mr. Man here heavy earphones on, so you're not listening to. So that's what made me really is the whole plan out.
But I think he feels like the only supposedly real person in a cartoon world.
Yeah, like a straight man in a sense.
Right, but the thing is, he dressed up and most flashy, ridiculous person at the same time.
Yeah.
Another problem, it was distracting. It was him because John Hamm wasn't that distracting. Jen Bonton wasn't that distracting. He was kind of distracting. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because I was gonna say that, or if it's because it's Jamie Foxx.
Right.
Because I don't want to say he is kind of like the most animated character, though.
Right.
But because he's trying to play the street man and the over the top gangster kind of way. Yeah.
But it still worked. I still like his character. He's still funny. He's still working. Somebody sees like that.
I find he had a lot of dialogue. Though. Yeah. Shockingly, a lot of dialogue compared to everybody else.
When you say you know that bitch, that was funny.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, you know that bitch.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but some of the lines that he delivered was great. The silliness
of the world is the work for me because here's the thing: this movie is probably I'm gonna start to delve into the good now.
Yes,
This movie probably is. I have to say it more than likely will be used as a masterclass in rhythmic and metric editing.
I was thinking the same thing too.
Holy shit!
Yes,
editing in this good. No,
editing in this movie, folks. Oh my god!
One of the reasons I love Shaun of the Dead so much is because of the edit.
Yes.
Especially that opening sequence, the opening montage. But this did that so well. Somebody was arguing, oh, it's so silly and it makes sense. And they try to make it out as if it's a sizzle reel, not realizing the level of construction that went into this filmmaking.
And as I say that, it
didn't a sizzle reel that, it just matching song to music. No, this flowing with the narrative so well, and not a music video. This above and beyond that by far.
Right. I would say this, well, personally, I would love, and I don't want to bite Edgar Wright here, but I would so love one of these days to make a movie similar to this, which uses music, not just in the background, but as part of the film, to guide the film. Not just, in terms of like the rhythmic editing, the motion, stuff like that. Stuff like that I saw in Shaun of the Dead and absolutely loved, And I always wish that there was a movie that could do something like this. And here we have it.
It's not, as I say, it feels like proto Edgar Wright, as you say, because they said it was written in 94. I didn't know that. I thought it was written in 2001 or something.
Yeah, this could have been his Reservoir Dogs, if you will.
Right.
Something that would have been like, oh shit, look at this new talent here. Yeah. Who's this guy? Edgar Wright. Boom,
This one I enjoyed. I enjoyed this movie. I had fun with it. The characters worked. It worked in its own silly way. It's a film, but I can imagine it. There's a little bit of a blowback going on with it, and I kind of understand where they're coming from because the movie plays itself very, very unseriously. I could see a bunch of people like, oh, well, this had to be dark and da. And it's like, no, it's Edgar Wright's take. It's like his flashy take on Drive. It really feels like Drive in many ways.
Exactly.
The arc of the character kind of plays out. This is roughly the same way. The character's template is similar, even though it's a heist film. And it's very generic, it works out very, very similarly, I think, to Drive in many ways.
Right.
But obviously the movie is different. The characters, you're not sure if the character autistic, he has a female love interest, you have an old man going on, you have a crime person to deal with, and it works.
Yeah.
It feels like, I forget which music, but the music works.
Yes. I'll talk about the music.
Soundtrack is great. Yes. I'll say the soundtrack is a little too on the nose. It was some of the more obvious songs. I'm like, okay, I know this song, I know that song.
That's fine, that's okay.
It's not his most eclectic film, I'll admit. And that's one of those things, but because it's so well made from a film perspective, Darrell worked just the simple editing, how stuff cut, how they use the frame from cutting from scene to scene.
Yeah.
Like they have this really cool shot with that catch me off guard where he's standing up in the frame and then they just cut and he same pose.
Yes. Oh yes. I remember. Right. When he was waking him up, it was like, baby, and he was getting ready to leave. Right.
And then they have a part with him standing in the bar, and then they cut to the junkyard when he had to get rid of. Well, there's a thing with a car.
Yeah.
In a junkyard. That was cool. That was real cool. He stand up the thing, and then they cut straight. Little simple things like that. Yeah. Like, they're real hard though. It's a majesty of film. It really feels like something akin to Run Lola Run.
Or stuff like
perfect
that. Example.
Where it's more about this is the exercise as a film.
Mm-hmm.
But it's above the idea of a sizzle reel. It doesn't feel like a sizzle reel at all. It's a real simple story, but it works. Yeah. And it's very well made. I'm gonna give him a rating soon, but you tell me.
All right. So I'll just share my thoughts here quick, and then you'll just jump into to ratings, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you totally. This really. I was just watching this film. I was like, okay, one of these days, I'm hoping that in universities or whatever, film schools, whatever, they study the shit out of this movie. in terms of editing, the way how you edit.
How about part with John Hammond some guns?
Yes,
that was really
that
hard.
action. There's two action sequences, folks, set to music, and the way how it's cut to the beat is so fucking incredible. I was like,
well done.
God, I wish I want to do that one day. I want to do that one day. It is so incredible.
That was hard.
But yeah, from an edited perspective, but more for me of a sound perspective.
Yes,
the
sound design.
Sound design, the sound mixing. If this shit is not nominated for at least one Academy Award,
that was mentioned. That was mentioned with that because I was gonna say this was to my last point is like this was kind of free fire all over for me. Where it's a reasonably generic script, not that interesting. But
the style really elevates it. I do agree with you.
And it is a style over substance thing, but it's a good kind of style over substance. It's not, it's just dismissive. No, it's really well done.
Yeah.
And that gives it so many points that the downsides, you could ignore it. You can forgive the downsides.
Yeah. Right, well, I agree with you. Right, so in terms of sound design, I am so happy that I saw this on big screen.
Yeah,
so I was able to hear the little sound, these stuff, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I really loved, right, in terms of the original, the music, right, done by Stephen Price, who did the excellent score for Gravity. If you haven't listened to it, please do. And here he kind of does the same thing where there would be, like, to heighten certain moments, like there would be a certain sound cue that would take place. And then the music would build off of that sound cue.
Yeah.
So whether it's something dropping on the ground or somebody slamming their fist, it would build off of that, or like a car crash or something like that, and it builds off of that. There's not too much original music in the film, which isn't a bad thing. But when it's there, it works for me. But yeah, the sound design and mixing was so spot on, so brilliant. Just from characters talking to ambient sound to diegetic sound, all of it is just mixed so perfectly. I just would love to just hear this in like a 5.1 surround, like home theater system, just to hear these little sounds go here and there. And like I said before, if this movie is not nominated for at least one Academy Award, for technical stuff now, I would be really pissed off.
Yeah.
And while I'm talking about soundtrack, let me talk about music. Yes, the musical choices are so well. I would agree with you. They are kind of on the nose. It's like, you have that popular song that you remember or you've heard before. Yeah. So by the way, hip hop heads or aficionados who love production or love beats like I do, you'd pick up one or two little references to music that were references there.
The original sample to Dr. Dre, I think, had one.
Yes, the song that he sampled for the next episode, that bing, 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 bing. Although I never knew the song, but I know I know the song, but I never knew the name of it.
Right, no, I knew. I was kind of expecting that because I hear good hip hop songs, but at the same time, in my head, I was like, all right, well, they're going to do the original sample anyway, so that's what I was expecting. Right,
there was one particular track that one of my favorite rappers / producers, Madlib, reference on his the Unseen album.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say what it is, but just listen to that album. Listen to the instrumentals properly, and then when you go into the movie, you'll pick up on it. Trust me, right? So there's all these, these samples as well. And I was like, yeah, boy, this is like the perfect thing for somebody who loves, who loves hip hop instrumentals. And that reminded me of one particular scene that I really genuinely loved, where he first met, where Baby first met Deborah.
Yeah.
And where she mentions that song that she was singing, Baby. This is Baby something song. It's like, what's the name of that song? It's like, well, that's the name of the song. Yeah, Baby. And he goes into a record store and buys the actual LP. I was like, shit, I want to do that.
Yeah,
I want that life.
It's hipsterish, but it's good hipsterish.
Yeah. Like that's the kind of life I want to do there. But I'll get the reason why he does that, because this is one thing that caught me by surprise, and I was like, I wish I could do this shit. Like, he is recording bits of audio that Kevin Spacey's character and other characters do. Right? He goes home, he takes those vocal snippets, and he makes beats out of them. And I was like, but how you do it is like real old school stuff. Like, you see how you were scratching it, like I was like, fuck me, I wish I could do that. But I wish I had a setup like this where I could create my own beats from home now. I have my little drum machine and stuff. I thought that was like really dope now,
It's clever,
and never just jump into the character of Baby. I thought that, yes, he is the lead, and I thought that he's the most fascinating character in this entire show.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he, uses music not just as a form of, enjoyment and, stuff like that, but as escape, because he's burned by that memory of his slight spoiler. You see it in the trailer though, of his parents dying in that car accident, and you know the tinnitus that he ended up having.
Yeah.
You know, he uses music as a form of escape, and the way how they express that visually and sonically throughout the movie, I thought was excellent. There are a few flight of fantasy moments here or there.
Yeah.
And I'll get to a couple of those and why some people might not like elements of the film, but I thought that it worked though. I thought that it really got into his head. There's like the title sequence, for example, where it's almost reminiscent of a musical.
Yeah.
I was thinking Gene Kelly singing in the rain kind of stuff and yes, there is some choreography incorporated into this film where it's almost like he's dancing, he's walking through the streets and he's listening to his music and he's enjoying it now, and that's like right after he does his job where he helps the guys, and of course while he's waited for the people to do their thing in the banks, he's listening to music. Yeah. I like how he has it in such a way that because they're working, he timing it.
Yeah.
Because the robbers themselves working on time, he wants like the grand moment in the song to come at the moment where the characters run out to the bank and then he's driving and he's avoiding the cops now. I really love that. His character I thought was really well developed and stuff. I felt that in the second act though, it's almost like everybody else kind of pushed him aside, especially when Jamie Foxx's character came in. I felt it was more like about Jamie Foxx's being all erratic and stuff and less about Baby. But I get the sense that, okay, Baby is supposed to be observing stuff now, so we are observing things through his eyes, and this is where we see him really come to terms with it, emotionally, where it's like, well, yeah, these guys are bad and I don't want them, affecting people that I know, so I have to get out of this. So while I get that we seeing things from his perspective, at times I really did feel that it was more the Jamie Foxx show, more than, Baby's film.
Yeah, you gotta eat up the scenery a lot.
Yeah, especially this one scene where he goes and it's this gun deal kind of thing. That was a particularly funny moment, but I felt it was more the Jamie Foxx show than the thing.
I don't know. The movie could have do without that.
And by the way, his nickname is Bats, and it's like, well, yeah, he's clearly Bats.
No, they have a funny joke with that with 4 letters. That was funny.
Yes, yeah. Yes, it was. We wouldn't spoil it.
Yeah.
John Hamm, I thought was great as the kind of primary villain. He plays Buddy. His girlfriend, Darlene, very sexy looking Latina chick. Their dynamic together was pretty good. Like, they were pretty much trying to play the Bonnie and Clyde characters, the ride or die kind of thing, and I like how they played that. It wasn't too much emphasized, but it's like, well, we get there. Yeah. John Bernthal, I thought he plays Griff. I felt they could have done more with him.
But the thing is,
I felt like he could have been what John was.
But that's the thing. I thought they would have
he could have been like what Buddy was.
It was confusing because it was like, wait, they say he don't use the same crew, but then he bring back other people, and it's like, wait, why didn't just
why just bring him back in? Like what? Because if you didn't want Walking Dead looking characters in it,
kill the Asian guy, so it's like, all right, they do the thing with the Asian guy. It's like, all right, okay, well then, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a little let down because like, geez, because I was thinking he was gonna be the villain now, and then John Hamm would have just been in the background or something like that now, But yeah, John Hamm is the villain, and I was like, all right, okay, interesting. He have the Negan look down already, and I thought that what you're saying in terms of the world that they create, he works well as that villain there. But I do agree with you in terms of Jamie Foxx, where he's trying to be the straight man, but it's almost like he is in a different film, and almost like he's just there to kind of make aware of what's going on.
Right.
And this is the one thing that I think will throw off some people with this. And, I could go deeper and say, well, this is like the problem with musicals, the problem why some people don't like musicals. Because musicals primarily are fantasy, flights of fantasy here. And there are scenes here which play off of that, play off the musical aspect of it. I know some people might be like, well, it doesn't really work for me, I don't really care for this stuff, but I think it works perfectly in the film. It's just that, especially like in the end, which I won't spoil, I felt they could have done a little bit more. It just kind of wraps up abruptly and it's like, well, I get that you're trying to create the fantasy thing that, of course, the songs that they reference here, but I felt they could have done a little bit more here.
The end was fine because it fulfilled the arc properly, and I thought I like what they did with it in the end.
I know, but the thing is with that, I don't want to spoil anything with the ending, is that because I was looking at the film like this romanticization of like the car culture of say the 50s, right?
Right.
So say like what American Graffiti did in the 50s,
70s.
it came out in 1973, but it was about the 50s, right?
Yeah.
That whole muscle car thing, you're driving, you have your chick in the passenger side, and you have the music playing. Yeah. So it plays off of that aspect of car films, you know? And yes, you do have the Fast and Furious element of it with the fast cars and stuff. And by the way, this has some of the best like car chases I have seen in a movie.
Yeah, it's very clever. I was a little underwhelmed with some of the editing there because it cut about in some strange ways, but because it structured the car chases, it worked. Yeah. And then that's another downside of the movie. There's an ending where there's a chase, it's not a car chase, and I was a little underwhelmed by that. It's not too much of that.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was fine.
And I was reminded, of course, with Transformers.
Oh yeah, bullshit.
And the way how their car chases were edited. But you know, and you know, it's easy to say, but look at the jump cuts here. Look at the like second shots that they use, and like in this car chase scene here in Baby Driver. But because there's not a lot of vehicles involved, right, and you know who is involved, you know who is in the vehicles, well, at least who you should be following, right? And because you're in Baby's perspective, right? Yeah. You would know he's being chased by cops or whatever like that. So you could follow up what's going on regardless of how much cuts you use. So I'll defend it in that regard, right? But you know, but the way how it's structured, the way how it's framed together, it's not all these close-up shots in there. Yes, you have the jump cuts here, there, and you know, you could say, oh, well, you know, Transformers did that, and you know, you could complain about that, and look at that, you know, it's so modern and so fast. I can't pick up on anything, but still, because you know what's going on, because you get a sense of scope and where characters are, you're not confused. You're not like trying to figure out what's going on, and that's the problem that befell Transformers. But forget Transformers, right? So those car chases really reminded me of the old school movies like Bullet and French Connection and even Drive and all. You know, those throwbacks to those, you know, those classic car movies. You know, and this movie really works as that, just like this nice little homage to car movies and to an extent musicals. You know, I'm not saying it's like La La Land, but you know, the 50s, you know, the music that they use throughout this is like, yeah, just right off the bat is like the perfect, you know, the perfect music that they will listen to in that era now, you know, when you're in that car with your chick at the side and all that kind of stuff. It really plays off of that. I know for some people that might be a little too much. It might be like, well, you know, it's modern day. Why are we doing all this 50s shit for, you know? But because it's the music and how it drives the film, I felt that it works well enough. It's just the ending. I felt it could have been more about the car or just about the romanticism of the car as opposed to just the romance between Baby and Deborah.
But that's the thing, they never really made a thing about the car because he dumped the car in the beginning. It was like, I thought you would think that, oh, he loved this one car in particular. Not really. Moving on.
Yeah, like I was expecting a riding off to the sunset kind of end. Like I was expecting that. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so the performances are great. I thought that Ansel Elgort, who by the way plays Baby, I thought he was great. Yeah. I never saw him in The Fault in Our Stars, but I heard that was a pretty decent movie. Okay. But yeah, he was great in this. I like that he was able to express that kind of calm uncertainty about him. Just by, you know, even though he doesn't have that much lines to say, but just when he's silent, when you could tell that he's angry inside, you know, especially like within the second act leading up to the third act, you could tell that, you know, he's about to explode now, you know what I mean? But he's just holding it back, and you're just wondering why. There's this kind of weird curiosity that you have with him. Yeah, Lily James I thought was decent as Deborah. I mean, she has this fine face and all. And I kind of buy into their romance together, but I just felt that, like, at one point they kind of literally stopped the film to just focus on the romance. And I mean, it was nice to watch, but I was like, okay, let me just get back to what we was doing.
Yeah, but they jump from it one time. The scene, I thought that was nice. I thought that was clever.
Yeah, and I felt like in the third act there were some decisions that she made where it felt like it was just convenient to just move the story along instead of, well, you know, what are you doing? Oh shit, I can't be a part of it. It's just like, well, I love you, baby. I just need to be with you, baby, with her southern accent. It was like, well, come on, this fantasy, flight to fantasy thing again. You know what I mean? Kevin Spacey, of course, is great with his deadpan kind of style of delivery and thing. It's just his character change in the third act was like, just so. John Hamm really surprised me as just being the bad guy, like I said. But I just felt that John Bernthal could have been the villain. I would
prefer to see more John Bernthal.
Yeah. There are a couple of cameos as well, like a couple of blink and you miss it moments, like Killer Mike from
Ronnie Jules.
From Ronnie Jules was there, and I heard one of their songs. I believe it was in the first Ronnie Jules album, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's the first or the second one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Big Boy was in it. I was like, we're repping ATL here, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. The musical choices, though, like I say, were fantastic. If you're a hip-hop head, you'll notice some of those samples there. And I thought it really added this vibrancy to the film now, because shipping me going into this film, like, they rated this thing down here in Trinidad that's 16 years and over now.
No.
It's like, okay, this movie, this gotta be dark then. There's some... When it's dark, I mean dark in terms of tense moments.
I was really expecting Drive all over again.
Yeah, but I was like, this is not as dark as I expected to be. There's some, like, graphic violence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you would expect that from a Edgar Wright movie anyway, and those are just for like shock value and stuff like that.
Right.
But still, this easy could have just been a 14 and over movie.
Right.
I don't know if it's because the millennials wouldn't get the whole musical aspect of it.
I don't know.
But I don't care, because I think the music just works excellently with this film. It adds so much to this movie. And, especially in the editing, my God, the way how this movie works with the editing, this with character movement, the way how they move from shot to shot, just that kind of choreography, that movement, it reminds me a lot like what, like what John Woo used to say with his early action films, where to get inspired to choreograph those scenes, to set them up, he'd watch musicals. He'd watch Hollywood musicals. Yeah. And the way how the action scenes and even right now the driving scenes are set up and edited is very much like a musical, Mm-hmm. And I'll just kind of wrap things up from here. And, for me, loving film and all that, this to me is really why I love Edgar Wright's movies so much. You could tell this guy really loves movies, He throws back to musicals, to car movies, to car cheese movies of like the 60s and 70s, that kind of thing. But he does it in this fresh and inventive way. And you're right, though. It really does feel like something that come out in the 90s. Like, this would have been your breakout film or your debut film. Like, say, your Reservoir Dogs, something that did something different. Or like what Danny Boyle did with Shallow Grave, which was a great debut movie, by the way. Something that, like in the 90s, when you want to break out, you have to do something that just so out of the box, that kind of thing. And it feels like something that what Edgar Wright would have done had he not done that TV show Spaced or or Shaun of the Dead back in like 2004. It felt like this was the debut movie that he wanted to do now. Right. But he just had to wait to get to the States, because probably the aesthetic of it would have worked better in the States, and it would have worked up in England. Like in England, it would have just come off more of a parody. Because he used to do like parody films and stuff like that. Now, like the whole inspiration behind Hot Fuzz was a parody film that he did when he was a film student. You know what I mean? Right. And that short film, by the way, is so freaking funny, Jay. You need to check it out. Okay. But all that aside, though, I would say this is easily one of his best films. I wouldn't put it up there as say Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, but it comes close to those movies though. And I could also say it's one of the best movies I've seen this year. I wouldn't put it as top 5. But I'll put like between a 6 and a 10.
I just enjoy my just well-made films. It ought to be brilliant or nothing, but again, I say, it's Free Fire all over again.
Exactly.
Free Fire surprised me.
Yeah, it does remind me of Free Fire, and I would actually say I actually prefer it a little bit more, because I actually cared about the characters. In Free Fire, I was like, okay, which idiot guy died now?
But I think that's why Free Fire worked, because all of them supposed to dead.
Yeah, it's like, it's stupid. You know what I mean?
Kind of expecting all of them to die or be maimed.
Yeah, but this one, because of BB's character, and he's such a charming character and so well developed, and because all the characters, even though most of them are particularly bad guys and they're doing bad things, because of their characterization, and I like that it's not much, but we're given enough for them to be like, okay, I understand Kevin Spacey's character, I understand Jamie Foxx's character, I get where these characters are coming from. The way how the writing works is so Tarantino-esque. I don't want to use that term, but it does remind me of like Reservoir Dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's every bit of Edgar Wright. It's every bit Edgar Wright in the way how the dialogue is, the way how it's delivered, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is easily one of the best movies I have seen this summer. And for the year, I must say, this was... Wow, this really made up for Transformers last night for sure.
Wash out here.
While I would say it's the best movie of the year, I would easily say it's one of the best.
Yeah,
so I'll just
it's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, it's a nice palate cleanser for me.
Yeah.
So I would give this a decent, strong 4 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
give this one a look. Don't let the 50s aesthetic throw you off.
Well, not 50s,
or
50s tone, I should say.
Tone of it throw you off, or like the musical aspect, like I don't like musicals, or I don't like car movies, because of La La Land, hate it or love it, or because of Fast and Furious, the franchise, hate it or love it. I can't imagine this being for like the hipster, like, well, I don't like Fast and Furious, it's so juvenile.
Yeah, it's a hipster.
I mean, like this would be the movie for them, or La La Land. I don't like how it's all like, homages and all that kind of stuff. I think it caters to both crowds, while at the same time catering to the people who love La La Land for those reasons, or who love the Fast and Furious movies for the reasons. There's something in this movie that people will really appreciate it. If you don't care for the violence, if you don't care for the car chases, well shot and excellent as they are, I mean, I'd be hard pressed to find anybody who will not find some kind of enjoyment or excitement off of seeing those scenes. Yeah. But at least the music, at least you could take away the excellent score. Well, sorry, the score as well, but at least you will take away the excellent soundtrack here. These are songs that, I encourage people to just go up and look up and listen to the albums and stuff like that. There's somebody like me who wants to be a connoisseur of music, this is right up my alley. I want to find these songs. I mean, I wish I could go to record stores and, do shopping there, but I can't. But unfortunately, there's YouTube, so I could go and look up these artists and learn more about their music. But yeah, for the music head, for the hip hop head, for the car head, for the musical head, this movie is for you, Trent. And if you're not either one of those, you still find something to enjoy with Baby Driver. So by all means, guys, do check it out as soon as.
Yeah.
So what's your rating?
Yeah, for me, La La Land meets Drive worked.
It did.
That's the elevator pitch for this. I enjoyed this movie. Again, just so well made in many ways. Enjoy the just editing. I'd say rhythmic, tonal. I mean, it's just a masterclass at editing overall.
Yeah.
Sound design, as they say,
the sound design, sound mixing is Oscar worthy, guys. Oscar worthy.
It was on point in that way, and they could really probably get an award for that. I give this one a high movie tone.
Yes, well done.
A high movie tone. This was really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But as I said, the flaws bring it down when you think about it. When you
it's not a perfect movie.
Because actually when I just walked out of the theater, it was like a low IMAX, and I was like, nah. When you start to think about it, it's like,
but this is one where the good does outweigh the bad.
Totally outweigh the bad.
In more ways than one.
So Matthew, can we contact you, good sir?
All right, so we're doing something a little different here. All right, well, you can contact me, or you can find me, I should say, on Twitter. Look for my handle, Legally Black MGB, MGB in capital letters. You could also find me on Facebook. Just look for my name, Matthew Bailey, as well as a Legally Black official fan base, where you'll find the links to the podcasts that we've done over the past 2 years, as well as this one here that you're listening to here now, as well as my written reviews as well. So, Ricardo, where can we find you online, dude?
Persat. RMEDDY, that is at RMEDDY, at MREDDY, at RMEDDY,
at RMEDDY
on Twitter. And then you could just find me, just type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook, you can find me right there.
Yeah. Alright, so stuff to look forward to before we do the outro, 2 years have passed kind of thing, right?
Spooderman.
Yeah, so Spooderman, Homecoming. We're definitely going to check that out. We have to see this in IMAX.
I'm probably not going to see it in IMAX because I don't have IMAX down south, but I'll probably go and see it in IMAX later on.
Despicable Me 3, I don't know. Here's the thing, like, I would confess something. I have never seen, I think it's Illumination Entertainment.
Yeah.
Picture on big screen. I've always kind of skipped them out.
Not a single one. Wow.
Yeah, never seen any of them.
I think I saw the first Despicable Me in theaters. That was about it. I didn't see the sequel. I didn't see the Minions in theaters. I didn't see any of that stuff.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call myself the biggest fan. Like I've always skipped them. They just never resonated with me as much as say a Pixar or a DreamWorks movie.
Nah.
But I may give this one a try. I'll try.
For me,
if I don't see it, well. So
for me, Spider-Man, and then of course coming down the pipeline, them apes.
Yeah, them apes. We're supposed to be getting it July 12th.
Yeah,
I am so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for that as well.
We also getting The House, which is this comedy featuring McGill, E.B. Poehler.
I hear that's some bullshit though.
And Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell,
yeah. I think his baby is the Will Ferrell curse because the films that he's been signing nowadays are just some bullshit.
He had to get out of the comfort zone.
The Beguiled. That's a show that I am excited for.
As well.
I saw the original one years ago.
Okay.
Can't remember
that
much.
Yeah,
it's a remake. It's a old movie, came in 1971. Don Siegel directed.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood was in it. It was like, they was like, oh shit, this is the man with no name doing something different here.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
You know, being vulnerable for once. You know, it was a product of its time. So I can't wait to see what they do here. I've heard a lot of great things with it. Sofia Coppola, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Cast is great. That trailer is fantastic.
Yeah, I
oh
love
my
that
god.
trailer. And it's
so
dark,
dark,
a big strong cast as well. I didn't expect this cast to be so strong.
You
it's
know,
like, I know you.
Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Elle Fanning, who I saw last year with that show that we were divided up on, Neon Demon. Sorry. Yeah. Dunkirk, a show that I am excited as hell for. Supposed to get that at the end of this month.
Yeah.
And a couple things in August, we're supposed to get an emoji movie. Right. Don't care for it.
And some local
the Cutlass is supposed to be coming out. We may review it here, but I'm gonna do a review of it on what my What's the Scene show, so you can look out for that. And finally, Dark Tower, which I want to read the books.
I have no clue.
But
I have no clue about it. But it's doing a thing that I really want to see in a film, and it's something I want to do for a film. But it's doing a thing, and I want to see it, which is Western gun cutter.
Yeah, Western gun cutter.
Yes, I want to see that. So it's doing that. So cool.
Yeah.
Lovely.
All right. Yeah. So in closing, as we said before, as we said at the very beginning here, yeah, man, 2 years have passed, man.
Right.
What? Are we still doing this though? We still I'm glad that we've actually gotten better in terms of how we speak in front of the mic for one thing, and not stumbling that much. I was expecting myself to be stumbling a lot here. This one,
so many cuts.
So many cuts.
Yeah.
So many cuts, like a Michael Bay movie. But here we actually started to get better as well. Actually kind of developing my mission statement. As in why I'm doing this here. Really just at the end of the day, I feel that film criticism is just very important, not just film in general, but like for local film. Like I feel like down here,
yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry to say, but it is.
And I know exactly why it's a hot mess.
Yeah, and we always like to clap our hands and say, it was a good show. It was a good show, but we never like to stop and tell the person why.
I know the root problem of the issue. It's a classic root problem in the rest of Trinidad, but with film, it's particularly egregious. But I already have the cure, so it's good. It's just soon to inject the patient with it.
Yeah, and I think with our culture, because with our culture, we are not the type to rush out to watch a movie review as soon as we see a movie. Yeah. We go see it when we have time to kill, and then we come out like, it was good, but what made it good or what made it suck? And I think by us talking about it or just encouraging people to sit down and really talk about what makes a film good or bad. When we make our own films, our future projects and all that, we will take that kind of stuff and kind of really take our time and build from it. Yeah. I think that's how our film industry, is, using that term loosely, that's how we will get better.
I'll talk about Cutlass with that. We'll talk about that with Cutlass. Yeah. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but as I say, in some ways it's a step in the right direction, but at the same time, Next.
But I really want the show to just develop where we could actually do like what the Shimos where you have your studio and you have your big you have your setup well perfect and thing, and you have not so much daily shows, but every week or so like legit now, that kind of thing.
Material. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If not, somebody else comes in our place and do the same thing. Cool.
We building that too.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening. This was Machu Billy and
Ricardo Medina.
And we are signing off from another episode and another year of BS Beats and Bailey. So, I don't know what to expect with the third one here. Well, that's about, we still in the season 3, but I talk about the year itself.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll get some great movies leading up to the end of the year. We wouldn't get, bullshit movies like Transformers.
But we had some movies. Spider-Man, we have movies. Well, right. You don't have to hang yourself just yet.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So, yes, and for those who have been supporting us for the past couple of years, thank you so much. Yeah. Keep the support, keep supporting us in what we're doing, and we want to get better at this. So no telling where we go from this point on, but just hope that we get some great movies. During this ride coming up.
All right.
So take care, guys. Until the next one. Peace. Later.